a short while. Remember also, we can get your views from online, all online sources. So nasema karibuni sana, tunawaletea Kajiado County Senatorial Debate 2022. So keep it there, don't log off your phone, don't switch off. For those who are here, let's keep waiting. In less than 10 minutes, we are going to begin. Asanteni sana. So ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once again. So welcome. We're now going to begin. So my name is Joseph Saruni from Kajiado Youth Parliament, a speaker to Kajiado Youth Parliament, and my co-MC for tonight.
Good evening. Good evening once again. It's a pleasure to have you here. My name is Kirubo Oraru. I am a final year student at African Nazarene University and also a graduate assistant at the African Nazarene University Law School. It's a pleasure to have you here, and karibuni sana.
Asante. So we are not going to waste more time. We're going to begin with a word of prayer from my colleague here. Then we begin our program instant. Thank you.
Okay, so I think for the respect of God, I think we can all stand up for a word of prayer. Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, thanking you for the gift of life, thanking you for the care and protection that you have given unto us throughout the whole day and throughout the preparations that came towards the fulfillment and the realization of this event. We come before you putting the aspirants into your able hands, the moderators, and each and every one of the attendees, even as we go through this session, that you may be with us and that you may cover us with your precious blood. May you take care of each and every one of us till the very end, and when we come to the end, we will be careful to give you thanks and praise. Take care of each and every one of us as we come and go, and may your Spirit be with us. For whatever I've not prayed for, may the Holy Spirit intercede for it. In Jesus' name I pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Thank you. You can have your seats.
Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all. We have an audience here. We also have a live audience from every corner of this county. Just to get to notify you that we are live from Kajiado TV. We are also live at OSIM TV and Mayan FM, Nazarene University, Mediation, and Bass Radio. And also to confirm the presence of Citizen TV and K24. So you can catch us live from all these media stations. So we are going to begin, and we're going to first to have our introduction and welcome guest through Dr. Duncan Ojuang, Dean, School of Law, African Nazarene University. Karibu.
Good evening. I hope I'm not the first debater. You are welcome to African Nazarene School of Law. We have our students, we have our faculty, and we have a number of our staff here. We are excited to be the host. And there's a reason we wanted to do this. This African Nazarene is the oldest university in Kajiado. It is the largest university in Kajiado. And we are embedded in community services. Finally, today's newspaper talked about how Maasai lost their ancestral land to British in 1904. And so I believe some of the issues are live. The Nation says today the cries of an estimated 70,000 herders from this pastoral community echo around East Africa as they are hounded out of their homes. Even after, when Lenana, son of Mbatian, let me read the relevant fact. This eviction mirrors another brutal evacuation of the Maasai in Kenya, which started with a massacre of 100 Morans in Kedong Valley by trader Andrew Dick in November 1895. That is how the history of the New World and the Maasai world with the outsiders begin. Of fraudulent agreement between 1904. Do you know the Maasai people in 1904 signed a treaty with the British? And it's the only community in Africa that actually had a signed treaty with the British. And the British court concluded that that was indeed an international treaty in 1904. In 1910, when Lenana, son of Mbatian, and his Council of 19 Elders ratified an agreement in August 10, 1904, by affixing their thumbprint, they had no idea they were giving away their birthright. So we are here in Kajiado today, but the history goes way back, and we are proud and very happy to be in this ancestral and indigenous land. Finally, the reason I think we are the right people is that it is only in academia where the truth is spoken. Our job in academia is to research, and we research the truth. Once we find the truth, we broadcast it without any fear. If you know the history of this country, it is in the academia where even during the reign of terror, some professors were taken to court, and some were arrested, and some were detained. So it is in the academia. I wish I could say even the churches anymore, but not some of them. But it is in academia where truth is researched, where truth is found in research, and once we find that truth as academia, we broadcast it without any fear. And that is why the best place to do a debate is in a university. Because our priesthood is to research the truth and to broadcast it, sometime at the danger of the powers that be, sometime at the internal politics within the country, sometime with all the fear, but the role of academia is to research for the truth. And therefore, as we debate today with collegiality and camaraderie, I hope that the Kajiado people, through this discourse, will also find their version of truth. Karibuni. Finally, may I welcome Professor Rob Reed. Is our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Head of Academia, and he has been part of this. He has a long history with the Kajiado land and the Kajiado people and this university from going to 20 years. And I think at the end of this debate, you'll give him a Maasai name, isn't it? Karibu, Professor. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Ojwang. On behalf of the Chancellor of African Nazarene University, Dr. Jerry Lambert, and the Vice Chancellor of African Nazarene University, Dr. Stanley Makosi Bebe, the entire senior management, faculty, staff, student body, the entire ANU community, I formally welcome you for this senatorial debate to the Leah T. Marangu campus, our main campus of Africa Nazarene University. If you're a first-time visitor to ANU, we are especially delighted to have you here with us on our campus. If you're viewing us online this evening through some medium, again, we are delighted to be hosting this senatorial debate this evening. African Nazarene University began in 1994, and so we have seen some of the history of this country as it has unfolded. I myself, Dr. Ojwang mentioned that we have been here since 2001. So I can remember the time when President Mwai Kibaki was ushered into power here, and we were all wondering whether our former, now deceased President Daniel Arap Moi was going to allow that transition to happen, and the tension that was in our country at that time. I remember it so vividly because Kasarani, that meeting when President Moi unveiled his project at that time, now our current president, President Kenyatta, And that was the very day, the next day was the day we here at African Nazarene University received our charter. And we were all wondering whether President Moi was actually going to come to award us our charter. It was a very tense time. Fast forward a little bit to 2007. We all remember what happened in that election, don't we? We learned new acronyms at that time, didn't we? PEV, post-election violence. IDP, internally displaced persons. None of us wants to see a rerun of that again. We saw the images. Some of us in person, saw what took place during that time in our nation's history. Shortly after that, African Nazarene University asked ourselves, we sat down and said, what can we do as a university to help address issues of peace and security and governance in our country? And we created a new program. One was law, 2009. One was peace and conflict studies. That peace and conflict studies created a whole department which even now is called governance, peace, and security. And in these kind of programs, we have tried to address the issues that have bedeviled our country in terms of transitions of power and peaceful coexistence among our communities in our country. And so we have a stake in what's happening here tonight. Fast forward to the next election, 2012. In the run-up to that election, African Nazarene University decided we don't want to just sit on the sidelines and hope for a peaceful transition of governance from one government to the next in an election at that time. And so we sponsored a peace walk right here in Ongata Rongai. We sponsored another one at the same time just a few days later, right in the CBD of Nairobi. PLO Lumumba was our guest of honor that day for that peace march in the CBD of Nairobi. Again, speaking loudly as we could about the kind of election we wanted, a free and fair and peaceful election, and the kind of governance that we wanted. And so throughout this whole time, even since then, we have consistently labored as a university to try and bring about this kind of moment that we're seeing here tonight. And so we are so excited to be able to host this time, to host this senatorial debate. And it's my prayer that as our aspirants share with us tonight, that they will share with us their positive ethnicity, maybe not the negative side of that they'll share with us, most importantly, their good ideas that will help to develop and transform this county and make it what we all want it to be. So thank you so much for being here. We thank our law school for organizing this. We thank the Kajiado Youth Parliament for helping to sponsor it, all the other sponsors that are here. And we thank our aspirants for taking the leap of faith to come and share with us what they believe will help transform our county. So we welcome you again, and we pray that we'll have a great evening tonight. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Can we have 2 people to remove the podium, please? Kindly. So as the podium is being taken off the stage, this is to remind you that we are bringing you the Kajiado 2022 Senatorial Debate. Nataka kualika wote walio mahali hapa, wanaotutazama katika matelevisheni, katika maredio, karibuni sana. Tuko live kwenye mitandao mingi, unaweza tupata katika Kajiado TV, Osim TV, MyNFM na vile vile African Nazarene University. So tunawaambia karibuni sana. Bila kupoteza muda, Ninataka tukaribishe our moderators. We'll want to let you know the moderators, then they take it over from here to the core business. Bila kupoteza wakati. Asante, karibu.
All right, sawa sawa. Thank you for the wonderful moderation, my co-MC. So the first moderator of the day, I think we can appreciate them with a small clap as we introduce them, is Dr. Victor Boyo. I think you can stand so that the crowd can see you. Yes, Dr. Victor Boyo is the Dean of Students at African Nazarene University. He holds a PhD from the University of Nairobi. He is a certified public secretary of Kenya, and he is also a scholar and a published author in environmental governance and management. So he'll be one of our moderators today, Dr. Victor Boyo.
Our second moderator is Dominic Kimita. Kindly stand. Tumpige makofi. He is the founder of Kaloito from the media, which is owned by Kajiado TV and Kajiado Festival. He's born and brought up in Olutokto, Kajiado County. Staged numerous pieces of art from poetry pieces. Also performed on international stages like Zanzibar International. He has a background in media and he's a strong believer of youth. Once again, let's welcome Dr. Dominic Kimita. And our last moderator, kindly stand. We have William Peshut. He's from Mayan FM, one of our best media personnel at Mayan FM. He's going to be our co-MC, our moderator. Just to brief you, we are going, let's clap for him. So just to brief you, we have 3 moderators because we'll have 3 sessions. We're going to have Kiswahili, English, and the local content, maybe Masai and others, but the media team will handle that. So from our end, we want to give back to the moderators to take it from here, introduce our candidates. Are you ready? Are you ready? Remember, you can catch us live. We are live from Kajiado TV, Osim TV, Mayan FM, Nazarene University Mediation, Bus Radio, and we also in recognized Citizen TV as well as K24. Tunasema karibuni sana watazamaji wetu. Ukiwa na swali, tuko ready kujibu. Karibuni sana. Let's give a clap to our moderators.
Once more, and to welcome our first candidate or one of the interviewee tonight is a gentleman. He is an ambitious young man with clarity of thought about following through his dreams no matter what. He was born to his parents as a second-born child, and siblings are 8 in total. He started his early education in Sajiloni Primary School or Kajiado Primary Boys Boarding School. He later did his secondary school education at Nakel Boys High School, after which he joined the University of Nairobi for a degree in political science. He is a staunch advocate for a paradigm shift in the policy landscape. His involvement in advocacy works has largely been enhanced by the opportunity he first got to serve as the president of Kenya Mass Students Association. He is one-year term. When his one-year term ended, he was nominated to serve as the representative for Kajiado at the Youth Senate Kenya. All along, he has been advocating for positive change on matters governance, climate change, among other issues. Through the Youth Senate, he has been able to offer advisory for specific policies, both at the county and national levels. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for none other than Gideon Twimasi.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, nataka nimkaribishe mgombea wa useneta wa pili. He holds an MBA in strategic management, has a bachelor's degree in human resource management, has a higher diploma in human resource management, diploma in entrepreneurship management, certificate in senior management. The gentleman next coming on stage once served as the county secretary for Kajiado County, was a CEC in education and vocational training, public service, and administration, gender youth affairs. He has served as a county secretary for the Narok County. He has also served as the director administration and human resource officer on Transition Authority Kajiado County, and also served as the director administration and human resource at Kajiado County Council. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite on stage Lenku Kanar Sek.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me bring us our third senatorial candidate, Kajiado County. The candidate is an amazing lady, an author, a scriptwriter, and a music composer, especially gospel music. She is a minister of gospel and has been satisfied in playing Evangel Ministries Kinshasa as a minister and a missionarian worldwide. She is ordained clergy to lead the flock of God first, appointment on 2012 as an evangel ministry in Kinshasa. Her last ordination was on 2021 as a reverend. She's been taught and ordained by New Life Ministries in Kenya and Maryland State, America. She's been working with the community hand in hand to better the lives of the people. She's passionate about educating girl child, especially in her county, having paid school fees for over 40 girls and not forgetting boy child, giving them education and leadership training. The candidate, ladies and gentlemen, formed a community group for women, helping each other and educating them on how to overcome the hard time of living, especially during COVID-19. She formed a Zion Women Groups, which is for women and girls feeding families and taking care of girls. This lady, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is passionate about her role as a community mom who is going to change and improve Kajiado. Allow me this point in time to welcome on stage none other than Honorable Reverend Sonia Gitau Tilda.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our third candidate, a gentleman who was born in a village in Oloshebo, who went to Oloshebo Primary School, a student of Masai Technical School, studied at Kilimambogo Teachers College and KTTC, was a P1 teacher at Ololdemes Primary School and Oljoho Nyori Primary School, international director of SWEM Ministries, preaching Jesus Christ of Nazarene, did a bachelor's degree in education in the USA. He is a holder of a master's degree in education leadership and a master's in divinity, Eastern Mennonite University in Harrisonburg, VA, USA, director of international relations at the UN, CWS, New York. He is also the GM administrator, GDC, Geothermal Development Company. He was the first member of parliament for the TNA party. He was a member of parliament for Kajiado North constituency. He was an assistant minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He was also an assistant minister, regional development, the MP, the former MP for Kajiado West constituency, former vice chairman, parliamentary lands committee, member of parliament, budget committee, vice chairman, ENSDA, that is Ewasonio South Development Authority. And now to welcome him on stage, he is none other than Moses Somoye Sakuda.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now we want to officially kick off our very, very important discussion. We want to give few disclaimers. We want to kindly request and ask that the live audience to maintain silence apart from the just concluded introduction session. We also want to kindly ask that the audience to refrain from clapping, cheering, or jeering. They will have an opportunity to ask the questions later on. We will kindly regulate time. We will be asked to remain civil when making our points. The debate, as introduced earlier, will be in two sessions. The first session using English and Kiswahili language. Then we will be later followed by a Ma-only session, which will take 30 to 40 minutes. And lastly, the participants and candidates are kindly asked to use respectful language. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I will now take this very, very important opportunity to now kindly invite our first moderator who will take us through the first question and the first session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, our candidates, for finding time to be in this conversation. We are grateful as Kajiado County, and we are looking forward for a great time. As part of our introductory address, this question we will be giving each candidate a maximum of 3 minutes to just make an introductory remark, and in that remark, give your motivation as to why you seek to serve the people of Kajiado County as their senator for the year 2022-2027. In the order that we walked in, I want to open up and ask Honorable Toimasi, your time begins now.
I greet you all. Good evening. My name is Gideon Toimasi, candidate for the seat of senator on a Wiper ticket in the Azimio La Umoja movement, which is an alliance that brings several parties together. I am 27 years old, born and raised in Kajiado. All my primary and secondary education taken in Kajiado County. And I am a boy from a village called Sajiloni or Ndonyo. And I have offered myself to seek this senatorial seat because I have realized the gap that we have when it comes to policy in our county. I have realized that we have a legislative gap, and the motivation I have is that I am able to change what I am seeing around. And my age is a motivation, simply because I am living, I have a future to lead, and if I do not legislate today, then I will share the same blame with those who we are going to be together in future. So the motivation is the future for me.
Honorable Toimasi, I'll pass the same question to Honorable Kanar to speak to the motivation as he makes his introductory remark. Your 3 minutes begins now, sir.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
I'm Jambo. I'm Kanar Seki. Kanar Seki hails from Kajiado Central in this county. As you have heard my background, as a summary, I am coming from this county, and I want to vie for this position of the Senate and seek the electorates of this county to give me this chance because of many experiences that I've attained during my public service duty or work. I know very well as an implementer of devolution and a founder of many policies within this county government that is there now, Kajiado and even Narok. With that kind of experience, I believe I will suit to be a good, even a person to oversight issues concerning this county. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Seki. I pass the same question to Honorable Reverend Sonia to briefly make her introductory remark and state her motivation why you seek to serve the people of Kajiado County as their senator. Time begins now.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, as you heard, my name is Reverend Sonia, and my background is a bit bigger, but I don't care about backgrounds. I care about people of Kajiado. A lot has been done when I stayed here, about 23 years now. And when I stayed with the people, I worked with them, I saw a difference. A lot of people crying, a lot of mothers who are feeding their children with one meal. Others, they don't even have a meal. When we started working with them, it's when I came to realize that, yes, they need a sound, a voice to relate with. And I believe I am the voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Reverend Sonia. Just for the purposes of reminder that our standing rules and rules of engagement remain, that we will not clap, we will not cheer, and we will not jeer. I'll move the same and pass the same question to Honorable Moses Sakuda. Kindly, sir, make your introductory remark and state your motivation as to why you want to serve the people of Kajiado County as their senator. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. God is good and all the time. Amen. Let me first start by saying that I want to thank God for this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank the organizers for inviting us. I want to thank the Nazarene University for giving us a place. And my motivation of why is because I want to serve the people of Kajiado County. I've had an opportunity to serve this great county when I was MP, Kajiado North. At that time, Kajiado North had 3 constituencies. That is Kajiado North now, and Kajiado East, and Kajiado West. Secondly, I served in the national government. During the Kibaki administration, I was Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs. I was also Assistant Minister of Regional Development. And my development record stands for itself. So I'm looking forward to replicating the same at the county level. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, our honorable candidates. We want now to move to the next question. And I want to pass a very, very polite disclaimer that earlier we had invited all the 6 senatorial candidates, but only 4 made it to this very important occasion. I thought it is important to pass that information. We want to move to the next question, which is one of the Senate role is to protect the interest of the counties, and most importantly, the government. We want to ask kindly, what priority interests in Kajiado do you think should be protected? What are your main and key priorities as you seek to serve this great county of Kajiado as senator? We'll move to our first candidate, Gideon Toimasi, kindly.
I began by saying that my motivation is the future. and that my motivation is that future to lead. And I have realized that going into the future, we have not planned ourselves very right or correctly as Kajiado County. We are not yet ready for the future. And my first priority as a young man is to make sure that I properly represent my county. Today, Kajiado County still faces a lot of injustices. We still have a lot of land injustices. We still do not have the right voice for our people. To date, we are suffering from underrepresentation. My first priority, as I said, is about proper utilization of the revenues that we have from Kajiado County. Our county is very rich. We have got sand harvesting, for instance, being the leading of the resources we have in our county. We are building Nairobi, we are building Kiambu, but to date, we have not utilized our resources very well. If I get the first opportunity as a senator for Kajiado County, I will make sure that I will go out of my way to make sure that sand harvesting in my county is really legislated about, that I offer advisory services, and that I also provide for regulations for the same so that we find value for our resource in Kajiado County. Another thing, if I get the opportunity, because we need an affirmative action as a county, as a young man, well-versed and ready to face the future challenges and the present challenges that we're having, I will make sure that in my first month in office is that I will have a pool of resources and opportunities for the young people of Kajiado County through donors, through other developmental partners that are here in Kajiado County, and through other private sectors that we have in our county. Among all this, I will prioritize a CSR bill so that an investor in Magadi will no longer have the opportunity to oppress our people. An investor in the name of Keda Ceramics will not have the opportunity to oppress our people. I will have the first ever CSR bill that will address the challenges that we have so that we equip our young people, we build local capacity, and that we have opportunities for them so that they can stand on their 2 feet in future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
On to our next candidate. How and what do you exactly prioritize as when elected as senator in Kajiado County?
Okay, I think as I said before, I worked in the last 10 years as a seasoned public servant or officer in government. And having worked as a county secretary and a CC in most of these big counties, especially Ma counties, that is Kajiado and Narok. For one, I was the founder, implementer of devolution in 2012, where I was sent by Transition Authority to develop structures of this county of Kajiado. And having been one of the founders of this county that we are given by the Constitution, the new Constitution, the 2010 Constitution, I believe and I know a lot about county governments. I want to tell the audience and Kajiado in general, Seki has been an implementer of devolution, and I know all the issues that comes in this county, or problems. For one, there are a lot of problems when it comes to implementation of policies and programs within this county, especially by the executive. We have been having all these problems since 2012, and even now. And these issues definitely need to be looked at. And because I understand them, coming in from revenue collection, where we don't maximize, I will try to make sure that I've guide and advise and put all the necessary policies and regulations within my means as a senator to the executive and administration to put measures in place. Two, there are a lot of issues that are coming in within this county that are malpracticing by being done by the executive, the county governments, and even the national government, particularly on issues of land. Issues of land. We have been having a lot of problems of land issues. As said before, I'll represent this county to make sure that any public participation that is necessary to be done must be done. And in issues of budgeting, because we've been having a lot of problems on budgeting.
20 seconds.
Thank you. Issues of budgeting. We need to have somebody with a know-how, hands-on experience in issues of budgeting so that we budget well and appropriately. So I think those are the few among many that we really need to look at and represent this county effectively. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kindly, Mheshimiwa Reverend Sonia Gitau Tilda.
Thank you, I respect you. And I respect my vice president is here. Like I started talking, I talked about the girl child in Kajiado. As a minister, I've been working hand to hand with him. And I've seen a lot of things that they are pulling, like they are pushing themselves to reach somewhere. Through education and through management of their houses. As we are told, a leader is very strong, but the strength is weighing down. Because if they find their cattle being sought or being taken by people, by robbers, they become, it's like they have cut their hands. Despite of, I worked with a lot of my community, I still am at the center of all women in Kajiado. Women in Kajiado, they are the ones who are raising the babies, and the babies, they become men today. So that's why I'm relying on women too much. When I was working with them, I've seen a lot have not been done because I've been working hand to hand to every offices of clergy offices, ministers of gospel, people with goodwill. And now, if I were to be given the chance to become a senator of this county, as the mandate of a senator is to bring back the county that we can be proud of. And when we have a nice county, a county which has peace, a county which our provision is not cut off, our babies going to school and not being strangled, a county where our resources are managed well, it would be my best idea. If I were to have someone who can stand here and say, or I can see and know that they are going to manage the county, I would have not be here. As a clergy, I'm here to save Kajiado. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. On to our next candidate, Honorable Moses Sakuda.
Thank you very much. I think before one talks about what are your priorities, it is very important to understand what's the role of the Senate and what is the role of a senator. And it is very clear because we draw our role from the Constitution of Kenya. Number one, the Senate represents the counties. and serve to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Number two, the Senate participates in lawmaking in terms of generating and passing and debating of bills and approving them according to the articles provided in the Constitution, Article 109 to 113 of our Constitution. The Senate determines the allocation of national revenue among the counties as provided by Article 217. So before you prioritize what you want to do, one has to understand the role. And that is the role that I am seeking, to be able to go first to the Senate, identify myself in the Senate, and make sure that whatever the Constitution lays down for me as a senator, I will be able to implement them. We are blessed as a county. Kajiado County is a wonderful county. It has all the tribes of this country. And one of the things that one has to adhere to is an opportunity to bring people together. And as bringing people together, that means having people living at peace. Number two, you find or create an atmosphere. As you become the voice of Kajiado County, you create an atmosphere for all people to be able to work in Kajiado and develop their skills and develop their businesses. So my priority, of course, is drawn from what the role of the Senate is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our candidates, we want to allow a 1 minute follow-up questions from my colleagues. I will start with Dr. Vincent, kindly.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to make a follow-up question to Honorable Toimasi. You spoke so passionately about challenges, especially for the youth, and you spoke about the subject of sand harvesting. You will agree with me that this has been a subject of discussion for quite some time. I'd be interested to hear from you 3 specific areas that you consider are worth legislation that will address the challenge that the county is facing now.
Well, as a senator, I know that devolution is here to make life easy, bearable, and that it is here to make sure that we have a better living tomorrow. Sand harvesting, we know that is one area that has exhibited a lot of oppression in our land, simply because we are having a lot of our roads damaged because of overloading of trucks. We do not have specific county sites where these people can operate their businesses. We do not have proper legislation about standardization of payment of this resource right from the rivers. We do not have clear guidelines about the ownership of the resource. And to make it worse, we are losing a lot of young people to the business, dropouts, and we are also having breakage of families simply because of the business. I am saying this.
Thank you. Time up. Thank you.
Just a minute.
Okay.
May I?
5 seconds.
5 seconds then. If given the opportunity as a senator, I'll make sure that the county government will increase revenue through getting itself investing in sand harvesting, because investment is one way to raise revenue for the county government, among other legislations, which I will provide going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Toimasi. My colleague.
Yeah.
Before Peshut goes with a question, I want to kindly ask our technical team to adjust Honorable Seki's microphone, just to make sure that our audio is clear. Thank you so much, our technical team. Kind regards.
Maybe we should just give him a minute, because my question was directed to Mheshimiwa Seki.
Thank you so much.
I hope he is now very much audible. I have a follow-up question. I just needed to pick your mind because going through your bio, you have a very strong HR background. You did a bachelor's degree in HR, higher diploma in HR, and you also happen to have been at the CEC in the Office of Public Service and Administration, Education and Vocational Training, as well as the County Secretary. Those are dockets that form a very core section in the county government. Now, you also happen to have been among the pioneer teams when we were transitioning from transitional authority to now the county government. I'll just need to pick your mind on two things. One, what is the status of, what in your opinion, do you think of the concerns that were raised by the control of budget, that most of the funds in the county governments are going towards recurrent expenditure? Employees, there is excess number of employees in comparison to the amount of money that is going to development. What is your take on the concerns raised by the control of budget? And two, during your tenure as CC in the Office of the Public Administration as well as the County Secretary, was this a concern to you? What did you do about this? Thank you.
Thank you. Due to the nature of the question, I'll give you at most 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It is true. Much of my background is in administration and human resource. I don't know if this is really working. Is it working?
Technical team, just make sure it is okay.
Hello?
That is okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, as you have said it right, my background is in administration and HR, and part of my service, I've worked as an administrator in this devolution, and as you said it well, most of counties, not just Kajiado, but most of the counties have really done quite a lot in issues of, in areas of employment, where they have employed more than what they need to take. As there is a regulation from the control budget, from even the County Government Act, where the counties need to, and even public in PFM, where you need to scale down budgets or our planning, such that in personal emolument, you need to employ only up to 35%. But we go beyond that as counties. Reasons behind that is because of issues of administration, where governors and even administrations, politicians, go beyond what is supposed to be done in law. And this is something that needs to be looked at. And that is why, as an administrator, as a senator to be, God willing, I want to bring these things to a stop. Two, I know it has been done when I was even there at times, but there are a lot of problems because you give an advisory note to the administration, but there are quite a number of forces that force the county not to follow the law. It is there, black and white, that there have been even issues in Senate about employment. We surpassed the budget, 40%, 45%, and there is a lot of problems because you are unable
the county is unable to do developments or even projects. So that one is a menace to the entire country, not just Kajiado, but I'm saying this with a lot of confidence. It is something that is there all over the country, even in this county of Kajiado. And that is why I said, no, I need to come in as an implement of this devolution. We need to put devolution in place.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Seki. I want to now kindly invite Daktari to move on to the next question. Thank you.
Thank you. Our question that follows up will be speaking to matters revenue. And as we are all aware, issues of division of revenue and allocation of revenue between central and county governments for the last 10 years has been a serious area of concern. As a candidate seeking to represent Kajiado County as a senator, I would want to just speak your mind, or rather I would want to hear you speak to this and as to how you would want to represent the interests of Kajiado County residents in regards to matters revenue division. And at the same time, I'll be glad to hear any contribution or suggestion that you have that could bolster revenues for the county. I'll start with the Honorable Reverend Sonia Gitau, and then we'll proceed. Welcome. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Thank you so much. Kindly, wherever we start debate, everybody is asking of something. There is one of our honorables just said, we stand as the watchdogs of our county. And in the governance, if we stand as a watchman, a watchdog, we stand to protect the county through everything, human and their resources, which is the revenue by itself. If possible, wherever revenue comes from the governance of the people, and then the people give the governance the revenue. Now, what we are supposed to do as a Senate, I would rather pressure the governance so that they may help the people on the ground. Through that, the revenue which is there, we have a lot of minerals, and one is already been counted on as sand. We have a lot, because those minerals will bring the revenue. So the companies which make a specific entrance to governance, to the government of Kajiado County, should have the account, should be accounted on their revenue. The revenue should be high and help people of Kajiado. Through that, I'll say, before we collect a lot of revenues, first we need to know, to counter-check the revenue that we have in Kajiado. Where is it going? How is it used? And where specific could we venture to see more on it? Thank you so much.
I'll move to Honorable Moses Sakuda to speak to the subject of revenue.
Thank you very much. As indicated earlier, a senator has a responsibility of our Senate to determine the allocation of revenues to the counties, not just Kajiado, but all the counties in this country. That is one stream of income for the county. The other stream of income for the county, of course, it's divided according to each county's share, is the revenue that is collected in the county. Right now, if you look at our county, Kajiado, the major source of revenue is what we call the single business permits, the SBPs. These are the shops, the hotels, the bars. That's where the county government right now is getting a lot of its revenue. One of the things that needs to be done is to look at ways, number one, of increasing that base so that the revenue that comes to the county is increased. Of course, we have a very rich county in terms of resources, human capacity and all that. But one of the things that needs to be done is reaching out to we have the circles, like the lorry circles, the matatu circles, reach them out nicely, talk to them, so that they are able to come in together and help in the revenue collection of this county. And finally, a time has come. We live in the digital world. And one of the things that Kajiado County needs to do is to make sure that we digitize all the revenue collection so that the money that comes from that shopkeeper does not end up in the pockets of individuals, which is happening right now. And finally, you need the goodwill. As a senator, you need the goodwill of the government of the day. And I borrow that from my experience as a member of parliament for Kajiado West. It was a new constituency. We didn't have offices. And I was able to advocate the government for a Huduma Center. Right now, in the whole of this republic, you only have one Huduma Center in a constituency, and that is Kajiado West constituency. All the others are in the county headquarters. Of course, I reached out to the government, and I was able to get a lot of other, big projects that came to Kajiado West, which of course I'll mention them after. But the key thing is that once you have that goodwill, you can even influence more revenue coming from the national treasury to the county. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Could we get the response from Honorable Seki, the matter of revenue? 2 minutes, please.
Okay, I think much can be said about revenue. But you see, revenue, it's not just the local revenue. In counties or even government, revenue is what makes a government, because you have your own local revenue that you collect within your county, and the revenue that you get through the national government through the Commission of Revenue Allocation. And I want to say that county governments have been only using almost 98% to even 90% of the revenue coming from the national government to pay salaries and any other thing. But I want to say, as a senator, we really need to focus on our local revenue, particularly in this county of Kajiado. We are not maximizing revenue collection. And the only thing we really need is to put policies and regulations in place to cover the entire country and even the county of Kajiado, such that county will not use local revenue to use their own source to automate revenue collection 100%, because most of these counties use revenue collections by collecting revenue through roadblocks and everything else by getting cash. So we want to have a policy and a regulation that will completely automate county government from collecting cash, and that will help and raise the county government. And we have a lot of sources of revenue collection, from single business permit, all the minerals, even the rent, local rent, and that is a lot of money. If really maximized in this county, we will get more than even what we are getting from the national government. And that is why I'm saying, because I have that experience of getting to know these loopholes and gaps within this county, I am the person to advise this county and put legislation that is right, that are required, or policies that are required in the Senate to come down, and the county government will work to enjoy its works.
Thank you. So much. Your time is up. Honorable Troimasi, please, if you could speak to that question in 2 minutes.
My approach about the revenue is a bit different. Though I am an advocate for more revenue or more revenue allocation, but it is also interesting to note that we already have enough of the revenue in our county. I am glad to say this, that if we properly seal all the loopholes through which we are doing embezzlement of funds, through which we are misappropriating funds, spending public resources in a way that is not appropriate, that is not need-based, that is a problem we have. I think the best thing we can first do is to have the right mindset. Before we go to more resources, do we have the right mindset about spending what we already have? One thing, I am saying I am best suited to advise the county government of the same and to offer some regulatory role about the same, simply because when I look at Honorable Seki, he has been able to serve as the county secretary for Narok County. He has served as the HR for this county. He has been able to serve as the county secretary for Kajiado County. The same way he's trying to dodge and he's trying to get himself out of this shitty mess is the same way they created the same. Honorable Seki.
Kindly withdraw your sentiments.
I'm sorry.
Shitty, kindly.
I withdraw.
With due respect, with all due respect.
Okay, I do.
And then
I'm saying,
Thomas, kindly, if you need to address, do not address your fellow candidate, address us.
Thank you. Thank you for the correction. But it upsets us more.
Kindly withdraw.
I withdraw the shitty statement.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But I'm saying,
you can proceed kindly.
Kajiado County is privileged to have had 3 senators at least. 1 elected senator and 2 serving as nominated senators. But to date, we're still talking about this mess. As young people of this county, as the electorate of this county, we are tired of the rhetorics. One thing, let's get the right mindset first. Second thing, how are we managing the non-conditional and the conditional grants we are receiving from the World Bank, for instance?
20 seconds, please.
How are we managing the already collected tax? I'm saying this, if given the opportunity as a senator, the first thing I will do is to audit public spending. The next thing I will do is to audit the relevance of the policies that are being formulated by our executive and the county government.
Thank you.
So that we do not use money
Thank you,
in the wrong way. Yes,
thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Before I open up to my fellow co-moderators, I just have one follow-up question to each one of us. The debate in Kenya, insofar as revenue in counties is concerned, is 1 vote, 1 shilling, vis-a-vis 1 kilometer, 1 shilling. I just want to get your opinion on that in 30 seconds. I'll start with Toimasi.
About 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. I am not a proponent for that. I go by the 3rd basis formula, where we have at least 8 factors to follow. Among them being the health index, the poverty index. Going forward, I am not a proponent of 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. Why? If we talk of that, our county will forever remain unsettled. Our county will forever remain underdeveloped. Our county will forever remain unserviced. So, I am saying, as a young man, looking at the future of policy and looking at the future of the counties, is that please let's use the formula we used in sharing equitably the 370 billion shillings we had.
Thank you, Honorable Toimasi. I want to give this opportunity, Honorable Seki, but before you respond to my follow-up question, I want to give you 30-second right of response to what has been mentioned, because your name was mentioned, sir. So you have 1 minute and 30 seconds, 30 seconds to give response. and then the other seconds to speak to 1 kilometer, 1 shilling, and the other one. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I think I don't have much to, to respond to my young son here. You know, he's my son.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just want to say, he really need to understand that government is government. And the way you run government is not a one-man show. It is something that has structures, and every structure has its own roles. So maybe it's not really wrong, but just because of, you need to really to be taught well and even to get some experiences, because there are levels.
That's fine. Maybe you can now proceed.
So I think that one is rest. And I want to say this. To me, I think I don't need to say much about that, because I think it has been said quite a lot. And I think we have raised these things as a country. So I don't really need to talk about it. But when it comes, we will definitely debate on that.
Thank you. Honorable Sonia.
My president taught us something, and I always keep on carrying it in my head. He reminds us something like equality to all, which is usawa kwa wote. 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 shilling, 1 kilometer. Doesn't mean that we have everything. When we were coming from Africa Nazarene, we saw, in Africa Nazarene, we saw some road being made.
What do you mean by president, your president, when you say your president?
No, okay, I rephrase it.
Okay.
Let me rephrase it.
Maybe make us understand, kindly. Thank you.
No, my party leader, I withdraw the president for now. No. When we talk about the equality, the 1 shilling would not appear there, because equality, it won't have 1 shilling. It will mean everybody to be taught something so that they may help each other. Everybody in this Kajiado County. We are talking about Kajiado County because this is where we are fighting for the senatorial state. We're not talking about every county, specific Kajiado. Every person, every human being who is in Kajiado should have an experience of something, so that to work harder, so that we may improve the Kajiado we have. So the 1 man, or the 1 shilling, it won't improve ourselves, because it will be, we are living beyond poverty. We can't reach there. So that is not my point.
Thank you. Your time is up. Honorable Moses.
Thank you very much, Moderator. Let me start by saying I'm one who believes that every Kenyan who lives around or who lives in Kenya is entitled to development and basic services from the government. You have actually just mentioned what my political party believes. Our motto is Jubilee, Mbele Pamoja. Mbele Pamoja, 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. In other words, we are saying it is important that in every corner, one region should not benefit more than the other region, and that's why we are going by the population and by the 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. But that is not to say that other areas in this country, of course, are large and they are not as populated as others. And that is why you see in legislation, we were coming up with what we call the equalization fund, whereby some counties that are a bit behind can be allocated money for them to be able to catch up with the other.
Thank you, sir. I think you've made your point. I want to invite my co-moderators to pose their follow-up question. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I want to kindly also appreciate your your cooperation in answering these very important questions. Our next question will be a little bit personalized. I will first start by saying on May this year, mwezi huu ambao umepita wa tano, human wildlife conflict has been on the rise in our county. It is evident, it is in the public domain. Close to over 10 cases have been reported from destruction of properties by wild animals, uvamizi wa wanyamapori kwenye maeneo ya binadamu. Insecurity and even death has been caused by wild animals. Let me start by asking this question to Honorable Gideon Toimasi. As an aspiring senator, did you visit the families at Masimba where the victims of the human-wildlife conflict were?
Okay.
Just yes or no?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I even visited the...
Thank you, that is enough. As a senator, or as if you get an opportunity to be elected as a senator, what measures will you put in place to ensure that such events will not take place? Here we are talking of the human-wildlife conflict. We are talking of the forced evictions. We are talking of insecurities. Like recently in Rongai, it was reported very young guys took part in undertaking some kind of robbery. So what is your agenda in making sure that these social injustices, mass evictions, human-wildlife conflict, insecurity which engages young people, what is your agenda mostly to making sure that such social issues are addressed?
I begin by saying that in as much as there are some of these gaps when it comes to policies and laws, the enforcement is a problem, because we have places designated for animals and we have homes designated for human beings. Why don't you make sure that animals and wild animals stay in the parks while human beings stay where they're rightfully supposed to stay? That is number one thing. Keep animals in the parks, in the reserves. Let human beings carry on their businesses wherever they are designated and where they rightfully own. Number two thing, we have a lot of people who have lost resources. They have lost property. They have had their homes destroyed. Who, for Christ's sake, cares to compensate them? Compensation. Can you compensate people very well and effectively? The third thing, there is compensation for loss of life. It is not about we are hungry. The government runs here bringing some relief food. No, we did not die of hunger. No, we died because of some injustice that was as a result of an invasion by a wild animal. Then our people got shot by the government. I'm saying that is one thing. Another thing about security and insecurity. All these social vices that we're having and the insecurity problem we have is that the police need to do their job. Let the law enforcement agencies protect us. Number one priority, I believe, of any government is to provide security for
Thank you so much, Gideon. Thank you. Honorable Reverend Sonia Gitao Tilda, I also ask the question, as an aspiring senator, did you visit the families in Masimba?
No, I didn't visit. I didn't visit as an aspiring. I visited as a minister of gospel.
Thank you. What measures will you put in place to address such issues?
One, the security of the country belongs to the national government. And it was so sad to see animals, wild animals, near human beings. It means that the corridors are already breached. So the government, as a senator, I will I'd rather place that point, that question on the Senate so that the government can pick it and help my Kajiado people. Now, the security of human beings attacking each other, it means that there is a problem with our country. Job-wise, greedy, because if people are selling all the lands, then all others are grabbing the lands, the animals first will be confused because they won't know where to go. So they will bridge to people, and then people will be hurt. Much condolences to them, but we need to do more as Kajiado legislatures. Thank you so much.
Honorable Moses Sakuda, did you visit the victims at Masimba?
Yes, I did. Not once, but severally.
Thank you. What measures will you put as a senator, if elected senator, to address such issues?
I think as a Senate, one of the things that should come out very clear is that this menace is not the first time. I continue to condole with the people around Masimba and tell them pole, and that we will continue to be there for them. The government has already pronounced itself on what needs to be done, and a voice is needed in the Senate to make sure that what the government has committed itself to do is actually implemented. Number two, our communities in the Maasai have always lived with wild animals, and we have always taken care of them. So, in the event that there is that kind of conflict, it means that somebody somewhere is dropping the ball. According to the national government, KWS has been given the mandate to be able to protect our animals and look at our animals. And at this time, I think it is important to us that KWS to continue developing community relations. And we are not just talking about Masimba. Go to Kajiado South, go to Kajiado Central, Matapato South, go to Kajiado West, Rodokilani. You'll find elephants, trapping of our people and all that. Schools closed. That is not the Kenya that we need. So as a voice, Senate is a voice where these issues are raised and they are follow-up. And I take this opportunity to request the government, whatever they had said about our victims in Masimba, can we please see you doing them instead of just saying them? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Sakuda. Before we are almost getting into our mass-specific session, but Mheshimiwa Honorable Samuel Seki, did you visit the grieving families at Masimba?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
So how do you intend to address the issues related to human-wildlife conflict?
Yeah, first of all, I really want to say that it is always very good that if a question is raised, we don't make a lie on that. Because from the first day when we got that problem of 4 people killed by security personnel, I think I was in the ground. I didn't see Sakuda or my son here.
We did follow you.
I took the patients and even those who have been affected and injured.
Point of order, moderator. The procedures.
Kindly let Honorable Samuel Seki finish his point, then we'll give a rebuttal kindly.
So I didn't see them. I was on the site, and up to almost midnight when I was in the hospital with the patients and those who have been, the families of those who have been killed, they are killed. And I want to say this. The following day, I was still there. We had a public forum. I didn't see any. In fact, I saw Pareno, and it was during the day. So I think I can't escape to see these people. And I want to say this, true, this is a big problem. I worked as a CC in charge of tourism and wildlife. And the big problem here is all over in this county. But again, I want to say, wildlife is not a menace. It's a resource. This county and this country gets revenue from tourism and wildlife through national parks. Go to Narok, we have a national reserve that has almost 70% of the revenue collection. So wildlife is not a menace. The only thing is we need to plan well, put resources, and my party, UDA, has an agenda on this. We are saying as a party, we are going to put a lot of resources to KWS to enable them have resources that will help them move and have equipments, vehicles, and everything else to enable them, even have the employees, personnel, to protect the interests of the community. And I want to say this as I finish.
10 seconds.
Yes. I want to say this as I finish. The legislation within Wildlife Act need to be reviewed. I looked at it when I was a CC in charge of wildlife and tourism, and I think county governments need to be put in place and have a share on the act so that they are able to own the problems.
Asante. Thank you so much.
Kajiado County has a bigger share on Amboseli National Park, and yet they are not getting anything. So one of the issues that we really need to look at it is for us to benefit, because we have 3 national parks within Kajiado County: Nairobi, Savo, and Amboseli. And we really need to source out of this because we have a lot of animals, wild animals within the county.
Thank you so much.
Within our private lands.
Thank you so much, Honorable Samuel Seki. Now, 30 seconds. Rebuttal, then Mheshimiwa Honorable Sakuda. Is it true you were not present?
You know what? There's a problem because
30 seconds kindly.
What Honorable Seki has not mentioned is that he is not a victim, he is not a family member to the families we went to visit. So maybe, and there was no designated visiting times for the family, so we came at midnight.
Thank you. Let's hear from Mheshimiwa Honorable Moses Zakuda. Did you visit the grieving families?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
For the second time, yes, I did. And as my good friend Tomas is saying, I wish my good worthy competitor, Honorable Seki, has a 24-hour security surveillance to be able to know that so-and-so has visited the victims. So I visited them personally. I can even ask him to look at one of the helicopters manifest, and we'll find Honorable Moses Olesakuda.
Thank you so much. We want to finish up this English Swahili session with follow-up questions. And this will be only 2 minutes to each kindly, because now we have a very, very important man-specific session. Currently, Kajiado is one of the counties in the country that is a hotspot county on issues related to harmful cultural practices. It is in the public domain that a report released early this year that Kajiado was number 3 in issues related to teenage pregnancies in the country. In Kenya to be specific. We have to ask this question. As a senator, or if elected as a senator, what will be your agenda on 3 issues? 1, issues on the minority groups, issues on the gender question or the gender parity question, and lastly, issues on sexual health and harmful cultural practices. Kindly, I will give 2 minutes to each. I will start with Honorable Reverend Sonia Gitao Tilda.
Thank you so much. First of all, that is my domain, to fight for a girl child. So I'm so happy so that I may get that, I got that opportunity to raise an issue on that. As a senator, an aspiring senator, the senator to come, that is what I'm believing. I stand to fight the girl child being protected. I've been in Manyatas. I remember even hold a baby of a 9-year-old girl from school, straight from the school. And when I went there for I was serving them with food. And when I went there, I found everybody inside the Manyata. And when I entered, I found a baby having another baby. It was so shocking to have a 9-year-old.
How do you intend to address that issue? Kind because of time.
That's, like I said, we need to strengthen the education sector. We need to talk to the people, to the mothers there, to explain them, to understand. Let them understand that we have to grow fast to have something. As a parent, you have a capability to raise your baby well through moral, because when we put these babies to school, they will have morals, and they will respect their bodies. They will know how to. So all the psychologists and the counselors, all counselors who are learning for now, the youth who are learning to a psychology, the health workers should be working.
Time is up. Thank you. So much. Honorable Samuel Seki, how do you intend to address the issues on minority groups, gender parity, sexual health, and harmful cultural practices?
First of all, I need to express that I have a lot of wealth experiences in issues of gender. I worked as a CC in charge of gender, and I developed a policy on gender-based violence, which is now a tool, a document within the county government. I was the founder of that bill, and there are a lot of issues on issues of protection of gender, the girl child, FGM, and quite a lot of issues within that act. So if elected a senator, definitely when you have a bill in the county which is now an act of the county assembly, pended a signature by the governor, it is something, it's a document that a county needs to budget for it and put resources so that whatever the department needs to do and the enforcers of law needs to do to implement that law, then we need to enforce that act. And as a senator, because I know it exists, the only problem is probably it has not been utilized. And I need to say that there are structures within that, and it will especially explain all those things. Thank you.
Asante sana. Honorable Gideon Tomasi.
My first question to answer is about sexual health and health generally. One thing I assure the electorate of Kajiado County is that if there is ever going to be a fight between me and the governor, the first causative agent to our fight with the governor, if he is not, or if he or she is not going to have a legal practitioner, a health practitioner manning the health docket. I mean, let the doctors, let those people who are skilled on the job run the dockets. It is not about having an accountant or having someone from another field manning the health docket. The first war with the governor is if he is not going to have a health practitioner or someone schooled and practiced, or someone who was not practiced issues to do with health, manning the health docket. Second thing, about gender and the same health docket. It's about proper staffing. It's about proper and adequate resourcing of the dockets in terms of budgetary allocation. I will make sure that I audit the budgetary allocation. I offer that oversight role to make sure that whatever is going to be done is going to be need-based and it is going to address the present and the future challenges. About the minority groups and gender at large, I want to say that women have been involved in the liberation of our country. Now that we are at peace with ourselves and with our country, we cannot afford to leave them behind. I mean, let them take center stage in the governance of this county. Let us have the youth docket being operationalized. In fact, in our county government, we have a problem.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Sakuda, how well do you intend to address issues on minorities, gender parity, sexual health, and harmful cultural practices?
Thank you. I think one of the things that you have mentioned are three in particular, the minority groups, which is true. When you look at our county, we have a number of minority groups, and they too need to be included. One of the good things about our constitution actually speaks to that, and that is why when you come to the Senate, you have about 47 elected senators, then you have about 16 who are women, because those laws are to make sure that the minority groups are taken care of. When you come to Kajiado County, we must face an animal called clanism. Clanism, we must eradicate it because it tries to group people into sections that are not healthy, for living. When it comes to gender parity, as I said, it's in the Constitution. And ours would be to try and make sure that it is followed. And then finally, the harmful practices. I am a victim. I've had very many programs that I've been able to carry out as Member of Parliament for Kajiado North and Member of Parliament for Kajiado West. I remember about 20 years ago when my elder sister, on her way to a maternity hospital here in Rongai, she died because of extra bleeding, and it was because of circumcision. So I want to encourage our people. Those practices are bad. They don't belong to this age, and we must save our girls from such practices. Finally, right now we have a new curriculum, and the curriculum needs to take in place. As our students, as programs go to school, that should be emphasized in our curriculum because of our generation today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen and the lady. We want to repeat and kindly appreciate your cooperation and kindly ask that we take a 5 minutes break, health break, kindly, so that we can now get into the next section of mass specific questions. Immediately after my colleague Peshut is through with the MA session, Saruni, our coordinator, will kindly pick 3 questions from the audience, which will be asked by our able moderators. Then we will kindly finalize with a follow-up question from Daktari, then we will be done for the day. Kindly let me invite coordinator Saruni, and kindly ask you to sit down. I know your knees must be shaking. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So far, so good. How is it? Can we just give them a round of applause, please? It takes effort, energy, resilience, and courage for these people to stand here for that long. Let me just encourage them. You're not speaking only to this audience. You're speaking to the entire Kajiado County. Not only in Kajiado, but the entire world. The audience there online are crazy. The numbers are up. People are watching. So we just want to encourage them that don't speak as if talking only to us. Speak because the world is watching, people are watching. So tunasema asante sana. So far, we've seen much. The agendas, the supporters are supportive. Na pia nyinyi hapa kwa kutulia tunasema asanteni sana. Remember we are live from different media stations, and this is Kajiado Youth Parliament and African Nazarene University bringing you Kajiado County Senatorial Debate 2022. Just to encourage our viewers, you can ask questions online. Those who are at home, wherever you are, you have the capacity from the media stations that you are watching from. Ask any question you want. We are going to select a few, raise any concern, and we are going to, our moderators will handle the same. And for our audience here, we are going to pick 3 or 4 questions. Not right now, but once we resume after the break. Just to remind you that we have Power to Youth, which is an umbrella. Let's give them a round of applause, please. They are one of our major sponsors today, who have been partnering very closely with Kajiado Youth Parliament. We have Mayan FM. Can you give them a round of applause? We also have Osim TV. Can you give them a round of applause? We have our very own host, African Nazarene University. We have also Bass Radio. And I'm telling you, from the digital side, the numbers are up. People are not sleeping, people are watching. So thank you. We have a very big audience. Feel free, just relax. You can sip your water as we resume back kwa lugha ya Kimasai. Nikijito, karibuni weleng. Kingira wiki ilikuwa ntai maswali. Ingira wiki ilikuwa maswali tengutoka wa Masai, and we are ready to answer it. So feel free. Pia kwa audience, because I'm the speaker to Kajiado Youth Parliament, and one of our objective, we can talk Sheng, because it's our language as the youth. Kwa hivyo kama una swali, kwa njia lolote unataka kuipitisha, bring it on. Let it be respectful. Let it not to hurt somebody. Let it just be a general question. Simuko sawa? Simuko sawa kabisa? Let me just invite my colleague from African Nazarene University. Kindly. Linda, tumpigie makofi tafadhali. Linda is going to take through to take us through something about Nazarene University. We need to know who mbona tuko hapa leo. So kindly welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the MC, to our guests, the viewers online, and our contestants in Kajiado County. Good evening. Good evening once again. So I would like to first of all tell you to feel free, to feel at home, to welcome you to African Nazarene University, and make sure that by the time you are leaving, you don't leave the way you came, you leave differently. So I've been given, is it 3 minutes to talk about our beautiful university? And just a second, I would like to ask you to think. When someone mentions African Nazarene University, what comes to your mind? What do you think when you hear African Nazarene University? Yes, I am sure the second is enough. So in most cases, many people, when we mention African Nazarene University, they think that we only offer theology courses. I would say we offer, yes, we offer theology courses, but we also offer other courses. So as we started in 1994, we started with 2 schools, the School of Theology and the School of Business. And we had, in the beginning, 62 students in this institution. So with time, as years have passed on, we have grown steadily to where we are right now, and we can proudly say, yes, we are moving on well. And so I'm sure, as I have mentioned, we have grown and have added more and more number of schools. So apart from the School of Theology and Christianity, we have the School of Law, which is actually the main school hosting this event today. We have the School of Business, we have the School of Social Sciences, and also the School of Science and Technology. So wherever you think African Nazarene, think of the other schools that we have as well. And someone will ask, why African Nazarene? Because yes, we have quite a number of universities. Why you should choose African Nazarene? Reason number one is we provide or offer holistic education. So we don't only concentrate on the skills alone. The skills alone are not enough. We also look at how is your emotional being, how is your social being, how is also your ethical being, so that you are an all-round student at African Nazarene University. And very many more. I'm being cut short actually. Just to mention another reason why you should choose Nazarene. 2 more minutes, please. Okay. So allow me to just mention more reasons. I'm told I'll begin even more time in a few. So thank you very much.
Asante sana. Tumpige makofi. Kama Kajiado Youth Parliament, we have a slogan, tunasema tunazuia vurugu na tunataka elections bila noma. Sini sawa? We are in an elections period. We advocate for peace during these elections. Tunasema tunataka elections bila noma. Unaweza pia rusha swali yako at Kajiado Youth _P kwenye mtandao wetu wa Twitter and at Kajiado Youth official Facebook page. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now back. And I can kindly request our senators to be up, take their center stage. Tuwapigie makofi mara ingine. And now I'll give it back to our moderators. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much and welcome back to this other opportunity that was set aside for those of us who might be viewing and for purposes of a deeper understanding of this conversation. We will switch into Ama, but with a blend of Swahili for the sake of our diversity. Basi angarishana na ndio mandeleni ni mklampo gano gratu miyok tanariba agrado ndio karibuni erishata sida yolini kingri kilugani shore na la ko klango green murulu gano bashi masha wori tanariba kia Gideon Toimasi green murulu gale Senator County ya Kajiado tenchama ewapo kia mheshimiwa Samuel Lesegi green murulu gale chama AUDA Nikiwa mheshimiwa Moses Olesakuda Green Murusini tiatu ya enchama Jubilee tenebo mheshimiwa Reverend Sonia Gitao Tilda na grasini ngoro tenchama Usawa Pati. Karibuni tanairi shara nikipata maswali kumuka munde ba image imba kumuk na ibertana eramarara county kakajiwa geneteruni mheshimiwa Gideon Toimasi. Ore ambaye nabo o senatai ena nalimu katiba na vela rip interests account. Ama tiato legani okumi. Kakwa bao ni jiru njana nyemal ene siya ino iro senatai. Njana nyemal tiato county ya Kajiado naijito ninche laisho erishata edukuya.
Ore ninye enedukuya naa nanu lojo le Toimasi Gideon natii enchama Wiper agira aing'oru olorika le Senate. Naa ore entoki edukuya nang'as aimaki naa nchere kinyamal Kajiado County ashu kinyamal County Orkejuodo tenkaraki sheria. Ore mbaa kumok oleng arashu eneimieki oshi iropiyiani county naa sheria eng'asi aitobir, nitobiruni mbarakinot naasieki esiai naa kajo ninche nemetii kira Kajiado County. Ore eniare enyamali ele osho lemaa amu ore kinya kulo eton apake kincherita ilchambai lemesidain, kincherita ake taata esiai osina lotii atua nkang'itie, nikincherita ake sininye esiai osinyai lang oinyalita irbaribarani, nikisherita Nairobi, nikisherita Kiambu, nikisherita kulie kwapi, nitu kitumoki aitagolita ate tenena tokiting nikiata. Tenaaku senetai aitobir sheria narip sii counties nayakikisha sii ajo ore entoki naimakini naa ina nayieu lopeny enkop. Etii enyamali nabo naa ninye kinyamal saidi. Entoki najo lashumpa public participation. Ore te Kajiado tooloning'u ena kutuk oolashumpa naa eji it is a one day event te Kajiado. Kake tenaaku senetai naa kayakikisha ajo ore public participation naa keaku a continuous process metaa ore entoki pookin naasi naa ina nayieu lopeny enkop naitobir sheria nang'or intai.
Ashe oleng. Mheshimiwa Seki, iyie tenakata iyieu nang'amaa tena rishata. Itoning'o ajo ore esiai osenetai naa peemetu interest e county tiatua naa senate. Kakwa baa niata iyie enkarriyiano amu iyata advantage ashua iyie naaji onarikino peenosaki iyiok naanarikino peeyas ina osenetai ashua mbaa uni nilo aimie nidol ajo ninche ni interest oleng edukuya e county Orkejuado.
Ashe oleng. Ajito Leseki naa aisidai amu kinoto taata ena rishata pee kinosaki iltung'anak lang isiaitin nikiponu aimaki ashu nikiponu aas nalotu aas enaa osenetai lena county. Ai najo ore enaa osenetai lena county ya Kajiado kayiolo mbaa onyamalitin naagira ena county aimaa. Ore tenkiterunoto ore esiai ya maendeleo naa esiai naa kidimayu ning'wari yiok enaa county ya Kajiado nkulie counties tenkaraki mikiata maendeleo nikigira adol toonkonyek ang'. Ore entoki edukuya naa kias budget nikipik iropiyiani kake mikidol mbaa naidim ayau enkibelekenyata sapuk tiatua ena county. Naa ore ina naa embaye sapuk oleng nayieu niing'or osenetai esidai amu kegira naa mpisai aimin nemikiyiolo ajo kaji epoito tenkaraki metii oversight ashu metii enking'urata sidai enena mali. Ore eniare etii esiai naa ore naaji tenikintum nena mali naapuku te county naa king'oruni toi naaponu te serkali sapuk okuna nikiponu yiok aasotu te Kajiado tiatua ate toompisai nikintau tiatua local revenue naa inajo nchere ore nena pisai naa mpisai nikiyieu niking'uraa oleng pee kiyakikisha ajo etabaikitia erishata nayieunoyu amu kegira mpisai kumok aimaa mbenia ooltung'anak. Ore tenakata mpisai naagirai aasotu te county e Kajiado naa mpisai naimita nkai mbenia ooltung'anak. Megira aapuo atua maendeleo. Ore ene musho naa esiai naihusu enkigeroto ooltung'anak. Midimayu pee iger county ilaasak lesiai lemeidim atalaa. Naa inajo nchere ore enaa osenetai kayakikisha ajo ore ilaasak le county oltung'ani pookin oigero te county naa ke-enjoy esiai naasita. Ore entoki edukuya naa peetum ormushahara lenye elulung'a. Ore entoki eare netum mpisai pookin naadung'i enaa loans enaa benefits a pensions nelaki pookin elulung'a. Nayakikisha ajo ore nena baa pookin ataasa paayakikisha ajo ore esiai e county negira pookin ai enjoy county enye.
Ashe oleng.
Ashe.
ore eton itu aikilikuanishore lika ayieu ake nasuja ina swali peno. Itaasishe yie tiatua county, ng'ole itupukuo tiatua ina county, itii apa obo loorministani oitasheki esiai enkigerore ooltung'anak tiatua county ore Kajiado. Itii apa obo lelelo oipirutua esiai e county enakata apa egira aing'ua transitional authority peeponu esiai oonkauntini. Kaapa itaasa tinakata piimbooyo ena nyamali nitodua tenakata ajo etaa kumok ilaisiayiak tiatua county metaa ore iropiyiani kumok e county naa irmushaarani elakita badala nelo maendeleo.
Ore tenkaraki piigeri ake mbaa nikiyiolou ake eneesita county. I stand in record ajo njere ata mpala naigeroko Public Service Board, chairman le Public Service Board, ena county secretary, ana public service CC. Njere meyeuno inikigerara iger iltung'anak meeta impesai naigerieki. Kake ore public service CC ashu county secretary nemeninyo igerisho. Public Service Board nemikiata mandate nikingeri. Na ore mbaa kumok tenakata naati counties ashu naati county ya Kajiado nemikiata, and I will stand to protect this and even to defend this. Njere megira ya asuju nkoitoi sidan naigerieki iltung'anak. Naa kajito nija no oltung'ani ota experiences or practice ena oltung'ani oyiolo esiai enkigerore. Njere ore nena pookin netii files le county. Njere ore eno leseki etejo nkolong'i kumok meyeuno inigeri iltung'anak tenkoitoi nemenare.
Neeku ireisa apa inosu apa ina bae enenarikino neeku tukini.
Itu ening'uni.
Ashe oleng.
It's there in the record.
Mheshimiwa Reverend Sonia Gitau Tilda.
Yes.
Ningependa one of the roles, yes, of a senator ni kuzingatia ama kuchunga maslahi ya county kule kwenye national government ama kwenye senate. Ningependa kujua kwako ni mambo magani haya matatu ambayo unasema given the chance to be the senator I will protect this interest kuhusu Kajiado County in 3 minutes tafadhali.
Asante na shukuru. Mwanzo mambo matatu niko nayo ni barabara, sewers za Kajiado na wadada. Maisha dunia yenye tunaishi. Hadi hata wakati nafika hapa kitu ya kwanza nikipikia kwa njia ninapata mpaka kuna siwa yenye inafunguja. Na hii ni shule kubwa. Shule yenye nafaa kutunzwa na serikali. Na hiyo siwa bado haiko. Kama hakuna siwa wale watoto wanaishi aje? Harufu. Unaona? Hiyo ni jambo la muhimu. Jambo la pili ni kushughulika na watoto. Aswa, wasichana na pia wamama wao. Wale watoto tunasomesha huku, mashule haya yamejaa watoto wetu. Tunazala mpaka wakili, tuko mpaka wenye waunguzi na wakunga pia. Wao wenyewe watumwe kwa watoto wetu waweze kuwasaidia. Hiyo nitatekeleza sababu ni lazima nisukume hiyo kutoka kwa the national government. Sababu tuko na watoto wamesoma kama wa community hii. Pia maji ni shida. Na maji nitashikanisha pamoja na maziwa. Niliambiwa kuna wakati tunatengeneza mpaka tuko na mali tunaweza a storage of milk in Kajiado. Kuna wamama wenye wanatafuta wako na ng'ombe zao wanatafuta mpaka maziwa vile wataziweka. Hiyo ni jambo la muhimu. Pia iangaliwe. Na hayo maji ni lazima. OWASCO afanyi. Kuna mahali afanyi. Sababu kama Kitengela, kama hapa, tukitembea kwote tunapata hakuna maji. Wamama wanabeba mitungi kama karne za nyuma sana kuendelea kujisaidia.
Asante.
Asante, nimeshukuru.
Mheshimiwa Moses Ole Sakuda, tiatua ildakikani okuni. Mbaa nidolta ajo ninche nanarikino peyie eesu senetai pee isulaki naipirta ena county. Orkejuado. Ena nikitii tena rishata.
Ashe oleng olchore lai ole Beship. Kajo nanu ore embae edukuya naa kaisho Enkai enashe nerok irmaasai pookin. Nanu taa ilo oji Moses Ole Sakuda. Erusha ajo senetai lang na opik Mungu mbele.
Jibu swali tafadhali. Majibu.
Ore embae edukuya naa
yes.
Embae ebiotisho osesen. Tenilo tanakata sipitalini pookin e county nebu ajo elele metii irkeek nelelek ajo naa sinanu naa metii enkitashekinoto sidai. Naa ore apa tii bunge nikinterutua apa aikata bill nikinger ajo menarikino health neaku a devolved function njere eniatua county keyieu naa ene national government amu national government ake naidim aitasheki sipitalini obiotisho oseseni tenkoitoi nanare. Ore tenilo naa orkejuodo eton apa kiata sukuulini nemeeta nkariak, eton kiata sukuulini nemesheta. Naa kegol oleng tenikijoki nkera ang eji peepuo aishindanare nkera naata sukuulini sidan tenkaraki mesidan isukuulini. Ore enkae bae euni naa kiata ajo naa sinanu nyamalitin enaa apaelong nikiata entoki najo disaster response. No nkajijik apaelong naagira apejo temburbul nepejo nkulie teronkai. Nimikiata ngarrin te county naidim ashom ajo naa sinanu naa aitasheyie nyamalitin naijo nelo olameyu. Ketii tenakata nkwapi ormaasai nitu esha. Naa amaa naa county amaa no senetai kore oltoilo lo senetai le Kajiado county ajo entabaikiti nene gweitin amu mesidan. Neeku ore no senetai kaau oltoilo ajo naa sinanu naa piilo aiteru. Ore enkae tenijo naa aing'uraa naa kumok ilaasak contractors le county litu aikata elaki mpisai enye. Elelek etaasa apa contracti larin okuni ong'uan ootulusoitie naa kishiakino naaji nepiki bill naa melusoo olapa tenias esiai nias esidai nikilaki mpisai inonok. Naa inakata kitumoki atudumunye enaa ormarei ataasa mbaa naishaa. Ashe oleng.
Ashe oleng. Basi pekitum ashom esiai naipirta esiai osenetai enkitobirata esheria. Ayieu naaji niking'as ashukokino esiai ooropiyiani ake aporoo tena kake ore entoki nayieu nikisipu akayieu taake naigil aiterunyeyie Toimasi. Eketumitoi etolimuo naaji Oleseki netolimuo Ole Sakuda neimakaki sininye Mheshimiwa Gitau njere ketii iropiyiani county kebaya amu ketii budget naitobiri netaasa national government allocation. Ama yie amu eeta esiai eno senetai peerip kuna ropiyiani etii kuna naishoru national government netii noolaisotuak otii atua county. Kaata swali are. Ore enedukuya kakwa oitoi laamitunye kuna ropiyiani mitokini aishang'itie mali e county naishang'itieki naarieki campaign naawoshieki ntumoritin emaate. Ama yie no senetai kaji inko pee imitu ropiyiani e county nabo ina. Ore eniare ama kulo aisotuak otii atua county orkejuado nkampunini natii naa kiidim naaji nesotunyeki kodi naaramat oltung'ani pookin otii county e Kajiado. Kaji inko piilo apik olning'o sidai eno senetai metaa metumie enchankarr oolaisotuak ashua medoyio iropiyiani metaa ore kitum kunde national government netii sininche kuna naasotuni tiatua county. Tiatua ildaikani okuni Toimasi.
Ore enedukuya naa atejo naaji ara orkijanai enaa enaiterunye duo aikata. Natejo aing'or ore nyamalitin kumok nikigira aimaa naa irkijanani egira aitanyamal zaidi amu iyiok obulu naa ore enkigerore naa iyiok lemigero amu ore loopapa kumok naa retire epoito. Ore iltung'anak kumok naa kulie siaitin ropiyiani oonkishu apa naataarutua egira aramatie irmareita lenye. Kake kamaa kira obulu kanyoo kias? Ore ake paaku senetai mukaisha Enkai mataa naa ore entoki edukuya naa kaitobir entoki naji CSR bill teidie wueji te bunge. Ore kuna ampunini naaponu Kajiado County neyau enyamali amu ejo eshali irmaasai mees esiai tenishori nisik. Ore sii kulo tung'anak enoolong ishooyo siaitin nemeiki toonkopisini e chief, nemeiki tenoldioi, nemeiki tiai notice board e public. Maniki ake, in fact, enyamali ninye etii enkampuni nabo natii enewueji naa kajo notorious P, and I will say this for the record. Keda Ceramics. It writes manuals in Chinese language. Naa irmaasai lang otii ine. Ore irmanejani pookin mpaka oloitasheiki store ama taa store meyiolo irmaasai aitasheki, meyiolo iltung'anak lenkop aitasheki, kake Chinese otii. Kaitobir CSR policy nara clear naa mikiorro, kake ore entoki edukuya nikias naa nchere kaikununo relationship ang kira iltung'anak le Kajiado County okulo investors itu kipuo maandamano, itu kias ai toki. Ekijito nchere toliki yiok ajo kamaa piintobir ena kampuni enewueji, kaja maisha nibelekenya toosukuuluni tene, kaja iropiyiani niyawua county peeret iloopeny enkop. Ore enedukuya enkai naitoki aas tenajing'u atua Senate naa kayakikisha ajo kaas entoki najo lashumba auditing of reports, auditing of resources natii county. Kama revenue nikitang'amutua, ekitaasishore esidai, nayieu najo nanu ake oltung'ani oidim atejo ore iropiyiani naaetuo eminchori current expenditure egiroo development money. Ncho iropiyiani naashetishoreki ashetie irbaribarani amu ninye kiim pookin, noosukuuluni eeku noosukuuluni. Ore noolaisiayiak nepiki ewueji nenarikino. Ashe.
Ashe. Mheshimiwa Leseki, etii naaji enyamali nabo ninturumishe naa kibung'a wena naikilikuana iropiyiani natii atua county, kaji inko eno senatai piirrip iropiyiani naaponu te national government aabaiki county piidol ajo meimita nkaik ooltung'anak enaa enitejo naaji, nidol sii ajo amaa kulo aisotuak kulie otii atua county kaji egira aiko peyie eitayu iropiyiani naaretoki ena county meshomo maendeleo dukuya.
Ore ninye entoki edukuya naa kayieu najo meeta osenetai roles naasie audit. Keetai commission naji ashu commission e auditor general laa ninye onare pees audits in consultation with the Senate. Neeku ayieu naaji ake nai correct njere mikias ashu mias Senate audit. Ore nye paajing swali ino najo nchere ore PFM Act naa sheria naishoruno pee nishooyie nkoitoi naasotunyeki mpisai local revenue o mpisai naapuku te Commission of Revenue Allocation. Ore nena oitoi naa clear. Ore entoki nanyamal oleng ashu kewang nena oitoi oleng te sheria. Kake ore nyamali oleng naa engilata sheria nagilita administration ashu executive peepuo aas intokitin nemenare. Na inajo nchere ore finance bill naitobiri eng'or implementation of every financial year naa ke important teneimieki public participation. Pee ore iltung'anak pookin le county neyiolou ajo etipikaki mpisai ewueji neje, etipikaki mpisai ewueji neje, ewueji neje egira aing'orunye iropiyiani. Na inajo nchere ore tine we want to do okay. Kiinikias proper public participation pee kitum finance bill nikitoning'okinote pookin enaa Kajiado County. Naa ka advocate eno senatai pee ore tenikijo kekigira asotu mpisai oonkishu naa ketoning'okinote iltung'anak lang pookin tenebo administration e county. Ore peelotu aaku esiai naihusu laasak ashu kulo tung'anak taata loishooyo mpisai enaa investors. Ore esiai ya investors naa entoki sidai oleng teniyieu ning'ori oleng. Eyieu niing'or oleng irgavanani ashu administration ashu executive. Amu tenijo tenakata piintau mpisai te rent ashu te SBP ashu mpisai naalak iltung'anak too sokonini loonkishu loontare. Ore lelo tung'anak naa keyieu neimarie nena baa pookin peening'u neyiolou ajo kenare piitauni nena pisai. Na inajo nchere ore esiai ya public participation naa important piiteruni tiabori tidie amu ore tenakata structures ya county naa ketii mpaka village level. So mpaka nepiki public participation properly. Njere keyieu neyiolou iltung'anak ajo kanyo realakita. Peeyiolou entoki natum in return. Ore nemusho aidipita kai najoki irmaasai. Ore ake pee isho yiok Enkai naa kekipik nena baa pookin nkarriano pookin pee kiyiolou ajo kanyo kiasita ena Kajiado County. Amu kitosha yiok mpisai ang, meyieu ninye nai nikintoki anyamal amu tenikitum entoki najo goodwill, political goodwill, nikintaarrian iltung'anak lang aisomesha, nikitum ntokitin nikiyieu amu nena pisai kianyu pee kitum basari, nena pisai kianyu pee kitum maendeleo barabara, hospitalini pee kitum. Ashole.
Mheshimiwa Gitau, ningependa kujua kwako. Hapo awali ulipokuwa ukizungumzia masuala kadhaa ambayo utayatimiza kama Mungu akikujalia uchaguliwe kama senator. Baadhi ya kati ya mambo hayo ni jambo la kuzuia utumizi mbaya wa pesa ya county. Kama senator, utaweka mikakati zipi kuhakikisha pesa ya county hazijatumika vibaya na pia kuhakikisha kuna uhusiano mwema kati ya serikali ya county, ofisi ya senator na wale wawekezaji hapa Kajiado?
Jambo la muhimu ni kutaka kujua serikali hutungwa na watu. Kutoka chini hadi juu ndio itakiitwa serikali. County mzima ningependa kuichunguza kupitia mtu wa chini. Kama kwa ule mwenye tuko mkubwa wetu anatufunza kukuwa na maelewano kwa ule mdogo hadi ule mkubwa. Rasilimali za county ni kubwa sana, ziko mingi, lakini matumizi inaleta kasoro sababu ya muundo msingi ya watu wenyewe. Wakati unapea governor kazi mpaka anafanya mpaka ya MCA, hata mzee wa kijiji, haitawezekana. Kwa hivyo mzee wa kijiji, ule mbunge la wa mwananchi na pia ule MCA kabla afikiwe, au watu wote wanafaa kuwa pamoja ndio tuweze kukua, si wote tuko na macho kwa ile county. Tutaweza kufuatana vile kupitia pale. Bunge la mwananchi ni jambo la muhimu zaidi kwa kila serikali, lakini watu wengi waibebi, wanaibeba mzaha, lakini yo yenyewe ndio inafikia wale watu wenye wako kule chini kabisa. Kwa hivyo mimi kwa serikali nikiingia ninahitaji kutekeleza hayo mambo. Kuweka bunge la mwananchi on toes. Na yeye mwenyewe atuoneshe MCA. Juu MCA akifanya vitu mbaya bunge la mwananchi anamuona.
Asante. Mheshimiwa Moses. Ole Sakuda. Kajingo bimitu irobiani na abo serikali ya county. Na kajingo beyeji holding sidai le investors wa right ya county wa serikali na right na kata.
Ashole. Kajina nore ambaye dogoya na ore senate na ninyisho oversight role. Njere ninyolo shimeni orip ningor maliwa ogene serikali na abugu de serikali abonu atwa county. Kajina nore nyamali saborara nikiara na njere na gido sheria ore na nabisai eroni dudumi orgavanai ashu serikali ya county na lasima bela abori alairori iltung'anak ajo kakwa siaitin easi. Na kidolo shida nyamali sapuk oleng amu kelimu taadi wananchi mbaa sidan naayieu naaji nitaasi temurua. Kake ore pee ebaya ajo naa sinanu neasata neiteru ilarrabali le MCAs niteru larrabali ajo naa sinanu natii atua, nidol ajo ore napa yieunot oltung'anak nitu ebaya. Neeku ore enaa osenetai lasima pee intashe neeku enkong'u amu oversight kinchooki naa ina mandate tiatua sheria pee ing'orr ajo etabaitie nena yieunot emwananchi tiabori. Nihakikisha ajo intobira ncheriani naa ore enaa kaunti e Kajiado mitoki ajo naa sinanu naaku kesotu mpisai toonkoitoi torbaribarani kake nesoruni mpisai nena naasotuni tiatua revenue tiatua kaunti tenkoitoi naishiaa meeta metaa ormoruo ashu entomononi napik ajo naa sinanu naa mpisai embene. Ore sii iltung'anak oibung'i enkerai taaduo keyieu naa keeni neitanyamali lelo tung'anak. Ore enabayie aikumok iltokitin ajo naa sinanu naa natii enaa Kajiado County. Neeku ore lelo aasak investors naa keishiaa nikincho environment sidai. Meishiaa nipuopuo aaning'oo investor tenkopis eji piipuopuo aiteru enkampuni ajo naa sinanu naa naje tende itu ng'asasa aikilikuan ilopeny enkop. Amaa ntae ena yieunoto amu noololtung'anak aisho enkitanyanyukoto oloitokitok. Ore naa tenijo oloitokitok naa kebau oshi erishata sapuk oleng neimin irnyanya neimin ajo naa sinanu ntokitin kumok amu meetai factory naidimi aatipik ine metaa kiprocess lelo nyanya peepuku ntokitin sidan. Neeku lasima pee ihusisha iltung'anak. Ashe.
Basi kayieu taa nikipuo aidip tena rishata. Aata swali nabo nikipuo pookin aijibu pikitum aidipa ena rishata pikintoki atang'amai maswali natii ene naara uni. Naa kayieu ake naigil aiterunyeki Toimasi. Ore enkae siai etipat osenetai naa peitobirr sheria. Ore tenakata kirorita, ore enyamali ormaasani le kaunti ya Kajiado naa esiai olameyu, esiai olarrabal loong'uesi oltung'anak, esiai e value addition kuna kishu naaramatita nemeeta osokoni omiraki tenkata nanarikino. Amaa tendamunoto ino enaa Toimasi oota enduata sidai oyieu neekunye osenetai le Kajiado County, kaa damunoto iyata tenena baa naara ong'uan naatolikio tialo enkitobirunoto e sheria namitu ormaasani tenena baa?
Ore ninye enedukuya naa kayiolo ajo ore yiok iltung'anak kumok naa nkishu kisumare nikiasie ntokitin kumok nkishu. Naa kayieu najo tenatum erishata anaa osenetai naa ore entoki edukuya naas nang'as ayakikisha ajo ore hoo duo kinturraa nkishu tenkaraki esiai olameyu nikinturraa nkishu tenkaraki kulie siaitin oosukuuluni okunda kulie ramatare, menarikino niturrari nkishu ormaasani aisho ng'uesi entim. Kayieu ake nanu najo ore ng'uesi entim enche etoni toolaleta loo ng'uesi entim. Ore atua nkang'itie naaramatieki nchoon oonkishu ang' nena tokitin pookin netoni aaku neramatare ormaasai. Neeku kayieu nanu najo enche epiki orpolosie metaa ore ng'uesi netoni teidie nikitoni tene. Eniare, kayieu najo ore enyamali nikiata amu kinturraitie ntokitin kumok oleng, nchoo dii elaki iltung'anak lang naa tenaaku osenetai amu itu ees isenetani otii tenakata ore enyamali ng'ole nikitadua naa ng'ole kata eng'ori iltung'anak ekweta pookin idie wueji, kake tenaaku osenetai naaku oltoilo nayakikisha ajo tenetii nkishu nainyalaki, tenetii nkajijik nainyalaki, tenetii nkera naitaraki metuata arashu iltung'anak otii sipitalini neng'asi alak esidai aisho entoki naji proper compensation. Ore pee kiponu esiai e value addition niyiololo pooki ajo ore oshi enkiteng' neeta rubat kumok nemeeta erubata nemeeta tipat. Ata ninye oshiake kiasie kuna kulie ramatare tapala duo yie Enkai ketaa naamiri. Kayieu nanu najo ore olchoni lang tenikintobirr esidai metaa keetai factories, nchoo itobirr county government what we call investment plans because it is part of raising revenue. Nchoo itobirr metaa keetai processing factories naitobirieki kuna tokitin. Naa ore ena naji Ewuaso Ngiro South Development Authority okunda kulie ng'ole naitobiraki sirkali neasishoreki esidai nitoki aisul layiok lormaasai oorikito kuna ampunini. Kayieu najo nchake pee kinchori nafasi amu etejo taa lang'eni nearly all men can stand adversities, but if you want to know a character of a man you give them power. If you are given power to serve wherever you are, serve diligently and serve prudently.
Mheshimiwa Saki, Joining on na ba na jina maka ba na ibirta nyamali olameyu no lora Maasai oti ore lady abori yetu ameshoma abayeti dianga imusho ya Kajiado West. Nenesi ayola rabalonesi nena esi aye value addition. Ama moro senator ina gera na jenge de marana roburu sheria na metunyi na kenda muno rono tialo eramara Maasani te kuna ba narulikyo.
Ore ninye entoki edukuya na inajo ore shida sapuk oleng nikiata tesiai naipirta esiai ong'uesin naa keetai sheria naatai e Wildlife Act naa ore ina sheria nitu eyau aitululung'u esiai narip nena ng'uesin tiatua ilchambai loormaasai. Etung'uayie ina rishata ashu keetai ina kiti rishata nanyamal taata na ina peekinyamal kira irmaasai. Na ina jo nchere ore ake paaku osenetai linyi ore amu kayiolo ajo ketii ina kiti nyamali ashu ketii ina kiti gap tiatua Wildlife Act naing'uraa tenaa ikindim aatipik metaa ore county naata ng'uesin enaa Kajiado County, Samburu, Narok tiatua ilchambai loolopeny neeta eniko pee erip ina sheria nena ng'uesin nerip toi sii ng'uesin nerip imali ang'. That's one. Ore eniare amu kenyamal oleng mikindim naatanang'ai ng'uesin amu kegira serikali ashu kegira Kenya ai benefit out of wildlife. Ore pikintoki aaponu esiai nausu enyamali olameyu. Kenyamal olameyu toormaasai. Netaa rishata taata ena nikiponu aang'amaa county governments mibelekenya orkuak lenye lesiai nainosa ashu nainosaki irmaasai eniko pee ees esiai eramatare. Amu ore eramatare naa kesidai toormaasai amu meeta enkai toki nayiolo. Kake keetai inkoitoi kumok nikindim aatuutaki county metaasa eramatare tiatua ilchambai loota. Tenidol tenakata tiatua ena county eeta iltung'anak oota feedlots negira aas biashara sapuk oleng. Neyieu nikipik eramatare ang' biashara. Metaa mee nkishu ake kitoni aarumoo. Keyieu nikipik nkishu ang' atua ashu eramatare ang' atua biashara. Nee esiai ya county pee iteng'en iltung'anak lenyenak eniko peyie ees ina biashara. Amu kishoroki sheria. Ore ene musho nee esiai nausu value addition. Tenikitum Kenya biashara eramatata oonkishu ashu omali ang' nikiyiolou ajo ena county kaja kinko pee kintobir metaa ore value addition kikindim ainyang'u enkampuni naijo KMC ashu kintobir enang' nikiyiolou ajo kaja kinko pee kintobir enkampuni naitobir ilonitok ashu loik loonkishu ang' ashu kule ang'. Kaja kinko pee kintobir enkampuni naitobir naa nena tokitin kiponu aitutum erikore pookin e county pee ing'or ina direction. Metaa ore tiatua budget enye nena tokitin iutaki orgavanai o administration enye through public participation pee etumoki iltung'anak lang' atayiolo ajo kanyioo nanare nilepu na maendeleo alotu shumata.
Mheshimiwa Reverend Sonia Gitau.
Yes.
Masuala kadhaa ambayo asilimia karibu 60 ya wakazi wa Kajiado ni wafugaji wa ng'ombe. Kila wakati wa kiangazi wako na tatizo, shida ya soko kwa hao mifugo zao, shida ya jinsi ulivyogusia hapo mbeleni, shida ya vita vya binadamu na wanyama. Kazi moja ya senator ni kutunga sheria ya kuprotect wananchi wa hiyo county. Una mawazo gani kuhusu uundaji wa sheria kwa masuala hayo ambayo nimeyataja?
Hiyo ni jambo la muhimu sana. Kama vile niliguzia mwanzo, maji ni jambo la muhimu kwa wale wafungaji, na pia soko ni jambo la muhimu zaidi, na pia wale wanyama kutunzwa pia ni jambo la muhimu. Wakati wote tukiongea tunataka kuongea kuhusu wanyama wa mwituni na wanyama, yani wanyama wa pori na wale wanyama wa nyumbani. vyote 9. Wale wanyama lazima waishi sababu wamekuwa wakiishi pamoja. Na government ya national iko na rasilimali inaweza katunza wanyama wa pori, pia kutunza wanyama wa nyumbani. Lakini bila kupatana na wao, sababu tukianza kukua ni kelele na kutaka kuonyesha hawa conflicts, we make conflicts with the same people. Like wakati unafika na kuwa wale wanyama wa pori na wale wanyama wa mnene wote wanatunzwa mahali pamoja, hakutaweza kuwezekana. Kwa hivyo serikali na ile rasilimali wanatoa, ile rasilimali wanatoa kwa county, wanahitaji kukua wako na nafasi ya kusaidia vile wanaweza katunza hawa wanyama wengine kupitia pale. Sasa mimi kwa wazo langu nitaweza kuelekeza kwa mbunge ndio tuweze kupata rasilimali zaidi. Na ile communication ya wenye wafungaji na pia wale walinzi wa wanyama porini.
Asante. Mheshimiwa Moses, pegi tumaranga maswali na hata line ningu wote ene kweji. Kajingo pe kaadamu nuko eata eno tenelo mikitegelu neno seneta ile account ya Kajiado tiatu kuna nyamalitin naipirta laramatak meeta nemiraki nkishu olameyu imaka naaji esiai aje ekishomo pookin naashulakino shompole esiai e value addition kaadamunoto iata iyie nolobo logira aing'oru olorika le senate.
Ashe oleng. Ore enyamali olameyu naa eisapuk oleng. Ore ninye tenakata te Kajiado West amu iyiok apa elong'onoto orkisirati neetuo nkishu pookin e Kajiado County aapuo Kajiado West. Naa ore ina siai, ore tiatua serikali ang' teneisho iyiok ole Nazarene metaa iyiok oimutua anaa Azimio, naa kitipika entoki najo insurance policy oonkishu livestock metaa kifundisha irmaasai lang' enaiko ana oshiake ore iyata engarri naa ketii oshiake nkuti pisai nilak paa tenelo nebatata ina garri ashu netum ajali naa itumoki ake ninye anyaaki ainyototoroyu ataasa ainyang'u ai garri. Neeku ore entoki sidai naa ikiata ina njere maing'oru namuna metaa ore ilairritak loonkishu, laramatak loonkishu niking'uraa tenaa kifundisha ina siai metaa tenelo nelotu olameyu amu enkai daa ake nayiolo ashu tenelotu olari neetai naake ninye entoki nikirrip taisere. Ore entoki eare naa ikiata ena toki najo value addition. Ore toolarin okuni otulusoitie nataa apa vice chairman le group najo ene ENSDA, Ewuasonyiro South Development Authority. Ore anaa vice chairman nikinteru apa aashet entoki najo leather factory. Enkituaa kiwanda sapuk oleng metaa ore nkishu ormaasai yiolo ajo ore oshi taata olchoni tenkop ang' netaa meeta ropiyiani naata ashu oloisoto loonkishu ashu kulie tokitin. Nikinteru apa ina leather factory naa sapuk oleng te Narok. Tenilo tenakata ewueji neji Ewuasonyiro naa inepu njere teneaku timira enkiteng' ore olchoni lino naa kidim aitobira enkiti moshipi sidai nitobir namuka. Kajo ninye ore namuka pookin niata tene naa ne leather noonkishu taadoi ormaasai nena kake megira irmaasai aibenefit tenkaraki neitu isumi ina kisuma. Naa iyiolo ajo ore senate naa ncheriani ake ikaja itunga neton duo ajo ayau ajo naa sinanu naa investors oidim ataas embaye naijo ina. Neeku ore anaa kiata te Narok naa ikindim naaji atejo ore sinye te Kajiado mataa metaa ikiata. Ore tena siai oong'uesin nisujaa oltung'ani metaa kikompensate metaa moororoi ake ewoshi newoshi neji kelaki ntae nemelakitae ntae impisai. Neeku ekintashekini kiata oshi entoki najo Agricultural Finance Development Authority naisho irmaasai impisai teneaku iminie nkishu enye ontokitin enye naa kisidai naaji tening'urari metaa kisapuk. Ore ina sheria naa keret mekeirony keret ajo naa sinanu naa irmaasai. Ore ena bayie pii naa njere itejo naaji esiai value addition. Ore enyamali sapuk nikiata nikinoto ng'ole anaa ENSDA naa ikijo ake maape ainyang'u ilonito loonkishu ormaasai naa etimishira irmaasai tenkoitoi nemeishia. Aomon irmaasai lang' maiteru aelewa ajo mimishir enkiteng ino aiteru empoloso metadoi ng'oru ake enkiti wueji mishira metaa ore baadaye ore loshoni netum naake ninye faida teyie. Ashe oleng.
Mheshimiwa. Thank you very much for that session. It's now my pleasure to hand over to my co-moderator for a few questions.
Thank you so much. I want to also insist that we appreciate on your cooperation. We are behind time in a big way, and we kindly ask for your apologies. I want to invite the following here, and as Dr. Boyo prepares to ask the integrity question, kindly I want to call on the following to come onto this podium. Stephen Parlore, kindly, Grace Naserian, and Lekishon Mopel, kindly. As you come, kindly, I want to ask kindly Dr. to take it for the integrity question, then we take questions from the audience.
Thank you, Dominic, and thank you, our candidates. The position of a senator is a serious leadership position in Kenya, and you will agree with me that matters integrity insofar as our leaders, especially political leaders, is a conversation that is not leaving our corridors. I want to keep this straight and to the point, and specifically I would want you to confirm to the people of Kajiado and Kenya that the academic papers that you hold are genuine. Yes or no? I'll start with Gideon Toimasi.
Yes, they're genuine. I have no integrity issue about my academics.
Thank you. Honorable Seki.
Yes.
Thank you. Honorable Sonia Gitao.
Yes, and I have more.
Thank you. Honorable Moses Sakuda.
They are very, very, very genuine.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to kindly ask that you identify one candidate, because I'm told now they are no longer aspirants, they are candidates, because they have been approved by the IEBC. One question, identify one candidate and ask one question. Be specific and precise.
Well, thank you. My name is Stephen Partore from the Kajiado Youth Parliament. I request to ask one question to Mheshimiwa.
Come closer to the podium kindly.
I would like to ask to Mheshimiwa Mr. Moses Ole Sakuda. We all know that the youth forms the largest part or percent of this county. Every constituency has a kit for the youths. How is the kit? How will the kit be utilized for women and youth empowerment?
Thank you very much, Steve, and congratulations for being in the Youth Parliament. I have experience on how I have been a strong supporter of youth. When I was MP Kajiado West, I advocated for a program under the ICT ministry led by CS Mucheru to make sure that in Kajiado West, when you go to the district headquarters, we have an ICT hub, whereby we were able to set up Wi-Fi communication, and we were able to put almost about 20 to 30 gadgets. And we invited the young people, over 200 young people were able to come in and get online jobs as they work there. Up to date, it's still working. When you also look at when NYS was still strong, I was able to advocate for about 3,000 young people that were employed in Kiserian, in Magadi, in Pakajeguti. I mean, our youth who follow the animals. I was able to integrate them into the program, and that they were able, because of the youth kitty, mine would be to advocate for the MP, the area MPs, because I will have 5 constituencies, to make sure that youth and women are there.
Thank you.
and advocate in the national government that the wealth fund, the youth fund, are properly utilized in every constituency. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Grace Nazarene.
Yes, thank you very much.
The question should be addressed to another candidate. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Grace Nazarene. I work for Amref Health Africa under the project Power to Youth. My question is directed to Honorable Seki. If I stand to be corrected that you said you are an implementer of devolution. And I believe that the youth function is yet to be devolved to the county government. So do you agree that there was a big oversight in terms of devolving the youth function to the counties? And secondly, what are you going to do to make sure that the youth function is devolved to the county government? Because we know there are so many programs, there are so many projects that are geared towards the young people, but the county is not able to really be taken into accountability because they're saying this is not our role and the youth function is not in our side, it is in the national government. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saina. She's Saina?
Nazarene.
Nazarene. Thank you, Nazarene. Yeah. I think you're right. Youth function is not devolved. It is still under the national government. But counties have a major role on issues of youth, particularly on the sports and talents empowerment. County government can empower youth through their talents. And I want to say, when I was the CC in charge of youth, sports and youth, I made sure that we have enough budgets to empower youth of this county. I also advocated by empowering youth by creating a fund which benefits youth directly. The fund is there, the act is there, and the regulation is there that we have a fund as a county government. I also made sure that the youth in the counties are empowered through TVETs, vocational training institutions, for them to get skill-based experiences or even knowledge, so that those who are not able to go to tertiary institutions would get enough skills to get the daily bread by getting the experiences to do the construction courses and be able to do a few things in the rural areas. So I want to say this, county governments need to be empowered through their budgets to put more money to help the youth of the counties. Otherwise, the area of national government, they have a bigger role on issues concerning youth. And that is why probably we need to discuss in a national level so that the factor of or the function of youth be devolved to the county, because the county government can do it better than any other government.
Thank you so much. Lankishon.
Thank you so much. I'm Lekshon Mopel. I want to direct my question to Gideon Toimasi, and I want to put this in Kimasai language. Gideon Toimasi ira mheshimiwa nioni yako senator ne magana ya jo kiyoni kintashekir Irmaasai lang petum nduat ashuba bekereke likoto jirin poke na bana neti ni akukwa nkongote national government kwenda bekeke mali ashubi aro mali na rishura pe bakir Maasai oti ngaulele ore swali ina njere elelek kaji kingo ashuka kingo beke yolo jo ore iraye o senatai nimiara raoitoi tenebor gavanai nino sisi na do mali Irmaasai elelek galuni ya no senatai nitumo mor gavanai le county government ore mali naatumi ninyang'a endaa kulo wara pokirare neton irmaasai meeta toki. Neeku kelauni oloitasheki county, nelauni ajo kalotii national, ore nisokoruye nipal enintabaiki tenining'ong'o nimutumutu itu ebaya abori. Ore enkae swali are naata naa nchere, etii meyiolo irmaasai lang ashu meeta eng'eno ajo keng'ae osenetai, keng'ae MCA, keng'ae orbungei naa kanyoo ifaa nees. Eyiolo ninche nkarn oltung'anak. Kake meyiolo ajo nyoo ifaa nees ele tung'ani. Elelek ira iyie osenetai, nikijoki ormaasani nyoo ng'ole pilotu enkang' oontaleng'o ashu embarnoto enkerai. Nikiyiolou, neyiolou irmaasai lang ashu kooitoi inchooyo ira osenetai, peebaiki enang' ena atua irmaasai lang, netum embolokinoto neyiolou ajo ore osenetai naa ena eyieuni naa ena meyieuni. Asante.
Ore ninye enedukuya naa ajo ashe oleng Bwana Lekishon. Naa ore entoki edukuya nayieu nang'as aiteng'en irmaasai esiai osenetai. Ore osenetai nemeshet orbaribara, nemeshet sukuul, nemeshet sipitali. Ore esiai osenetai peitobir sheria, nerrip imali e county teidie, neeru sii mali metadou ena toki naji revenue allocation te counties. Nayieu najo ore esiai e MCA tenebo orgavanai naa ninche otoni neyiolou eneikunaki ntae piitumutumu orbaribara. Neyiolou eneiko pee eponu ai budget neitumia kuna shilingini naataaruo osenetai teidie teshumata. Nayieu naa kajoki irmaasai lainei nchoo ake enkolong nikinang'arere te mashinani nemikiutakiki ake orbaribara ajo shomo ntobira amu mashetaki naa ntae amu esiai ai ina. Esiai orgavanai ina o MCA. Ore enkae siai niimaka naa kaji eiko pee ebaiki orkilikuai atua irmaasai. Ang'as ninye aisho sirkali e county e Kajiado enashe sapuk tenkaraki naitobira ng'ole entoki naji village administrators. Ore village administrators naa iltung'anak oitabaya orkilikuai mpaka atua nkishu. Naa ninche sii ilepunye orkilikuai tidie wueji aayau entoki naji feedback tiatua irmaasai pee kitumoki aanotito response tene teshumata. Naa ore ake pee kitumoki ataasishore kulo tung'anak, ore osenetai nang'as ayakikisha ajo tenemegirai ng'ole ajo piishori ntae nafasi, kake kajo ore osenetai naa peeng'asi aipik ntae project management committee e project yeyote aa enoldona, ene serkali e county, ene serkali e national government.
Thank you.
Enkae baye taa ina. Naimaki enkae. Etejoki naaji elelek imbung'a yiok orgavanai nikinya nkishu arashu nikinyalaa. Etii ake esiai namanaritae ajo entegelutu esuti, tegelakaki orgavanai laning'ore, tegelakaki osenetai laning'ore pee kiriamunye tenchama nabo. Nayieu nanu najo kajoki irmaasai entautu ata lemening'o, tegeluaki tene, tegelu olikae liai shama, maape aitau osotua teidie wueji pee kiasaki ntae orkasi. Ore ake paatum nafasi enaa osenetai naa karrip imali e county amu atejo duo kara obulu nematumoki ainosa tenkaraki enkishon naa kayiolo ajo epir dukuya nepir siadi.
Asante sana. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to invite our honorable candidates to give final remarks. Immediately after that, I will now take back the program to Coordinator Saruni, who will now start with Honorable Reverend Sonia Gitau Tilda from Usawa kwa Wote Party, 1 minute each, strictly, because of the security issues.
Thank you so much. As my party states, we are emphasizing as a party to household empowerment model. Being in a Senate, I need that mentality so that I may help the people of Kajiado. The empowerment of everybody. The empowerment of the people who stay in Kajiado. Starting with bridges, roads, people, the households of them. The roads are government things, but there is agriculture, livestock, which are owned by the people. So I need to fight for these people. Bridges and sewers.
1 minute is up.
Now as I stand as a Senate and I ask for the support and your support, please I want to quote a Bible verse, which is Proverbs 31, a noble woman. I'm here for everything, to fight for Kajiado. I'm here to fight for everybody and everything, every resource of Kajiado to be straight, every revenue to be accountable.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is Proverbs. Thank you. Honorable Gideon Toimasi from Wiper Party.
I come to Kajiado electorate that you elect me as a senator for Kajiado County because what I need is the opportunity. I am able, but without opportunity, my ability is of a lesser account. Give me the opportunity. Rate me after giving me the opportunity. Another thing, given the opportunity, I will make sure that we have balanced development and that we have proper service delivery. And I want to urge you all that you desist from this menace, from this call that people are propagating, that you vote for 6 Ps. Elect leaders on individual capacities.
Thank you.
Because what we need is service delivery, not political parties for our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Gideon Toimasi. And now I want to invite Honorable Samuel Seki Kanar from UDA Party. 1 minute.
Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate everyone here and the viewers in all the other channels that are looking and focusing on this forum. I want to say this, that as a party, UDA, we've advocate for bottom-up approach, where we want to reach each and every hustler of this nation. We want to say, please give us a chance, and there are few things that we want to come and implement, particularly on giving the common mwananchi funds to do business through the bottom-up approach. And there's one area that I want to really say, that as a senator, I have seen a massive development in issues of municipalities. I don't want really to leave that aside.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that these county governments, or even county government of Kajiado, promote municipalities in this county. Like, for example, we have 3 municipalities right now, and the county government is not really focusing on the issue of municipality accordingly. And this is the area that I will focus on it, make sure that there are policies that will guide and protect municipalities.
1 minute is up. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Sakuda from the Jubilee Party. 1 minute.
Thank you very much. I want to say, as a God-fearing person, my philosophy is based on Ubuntu. I am because you are, and because you are, I am. We find meaning in life through others. So let us always respect one another as God helps us. I want to leave you with Micah 6, verse 8. It says, what does God require of you, O mortal man? Say, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. I want to say that as we go out, let's go out and do our siasa za amani, za upendo, tusitukanane, tuweke Mungu mbele, remembering Proverbs 16:33, that the Lord is cast in the lap, but it's every decision is from the Lord. Kwa hivyo tukumbuke ya kwamba Mungu ndiye anatupatia uongozi. Vote for Sakuda, vote for peace, vote for development.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wrap. You want to give them a round of applause? Thank you. Thank you. I want to now invite and give 1 minute to my colleagues, very able colleagues. I will start with Dr. Boyo.
Thank you so very much. I want to appreciate each and everyone for making this a success and just indicate that it has been a great pleasure to engage and have conversation with our candidates. To reiterate again, ladies and gentlemen, that we invited all the candidates for the position of Senate Kajiado County, but we've been able to engage with those that found time to be with us today, and we are really grateful. The onus now is on the people of Kajiado to take note that the power is in your hands. You've heard for yourselves, and we want to wish you all the best. To our candidates, as African Nazarene University particularly, we say that what begins here transforms the world. And from this discussion that we have had today, and as we go out to do our campaigns and go into election, we want to see that a transformation happening right here, Kajiado County, as it flows through the country and even beyond. God bless you and all the best.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Over to you, Mr. Peshut.
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to appreciate each and every one of our candidates for finding time to come and speak to the people of the county of Kajiado. Like my colleague has said, we did invite all the candidates, but as you can see, only 4 of them had time for the people of Kajiado County. And I'd like to appreciate you for your time, for your effort, and for your patience. I'd also wish to extend an invite to each one of you for a further conversation on our studios along Kijabe Street, first floor, DSM. Our doors are always open for each one of you for an in-depth analysis of your vision for Kajiado County. Finally, to my colleagues, Kajiado Youth Parliament, Lagera TV, OSIM TV, AMREF, Health Africa, African Nazarene, together with Kajiado TV, thank you very much. This is the kind of platforms that we need to hold each of our leaders accountable. And finally, let's do this over and over again so that post 9th of August, we can ask each of these leaders of what they said today and of what they'll be doing then. Thank you so very much.
Asante sana. Kwangu basi mimi sitaongeza, walichosema nikiongeza nitakuwa na haribu. Wanasema kuku siku moja alikuwa yai na jiwe siku moja lilikuwa ni mchanga, na leo tumefika katika kikao moja muhimu zaidi, na kwa mara ya kwanza Wanakajiado wamepata nafasi ya kusikiliza kutoka kwa waniaji wa kiti cha useneta. Na niseme ya kwamba hii haijawahi tokea, na kwa sababu leo pamefunguliwa pazia la mazungumzo wazi baina ya viongozi na wananchi wao, basi pazia hii ilivyofunguliwa isikome, mazungumzo haya yasikome. Nitasema kama alivyosema kaka yangu pale Kajiado TV, tutazidi kupatia nafasi mazungumzo haya kipaumbele ili tuweze kupata viongozi ambao wamemakinika, viongozi ambao sio viongozi jina ila ni viongozi matendo, viongozi ambao sio viongozi kueka kwenye mabango na kukaa kwenye viti tu, ila ni viongozi ambao wanazungumza na wananchi wao. Na mwisho niseme hili ni jukwaa la kuhakikisha kwamba viongozi wetu wanawajibika. Asanteni sana. Hadi wakati mwingine, nirudishe kipaza sauti kwa ndugu yangu Saruni. Karibu sana, utuongoze katika sehemu ya upigaji picha, na usitusahau pia na sisi tupige picha na waheshimiwa.
Asante sana.
Asante.
Mpo. So far so good. I want to give we are from Kajiado Youth Parliament. We do the parliamentary club. Yeah? I want us to give them a parliamentary club for the senators. Tunasema ni asante. Asanteni sana. Thank you for finding your time to talk to the people of Kajiado County and also to the people around the world. I'm very sure kuna senators wengine sahi wamekopi manifesto ya watu, their ideas. I'm very sure of that. But so thank you so much. Tunasema amani ni mimi, amani ni wewe. Tuzuie vurugu wakati huwa elections. Sawa. Tunasema tunataka elections bila noma. Turudie, elections bila nini?
Noma.
Elections bila nini? Noma. Sisi wote ni ndugu. Na kwa mara ya kwanza Kajiado, viongozi hao hawajaipatana kwa one podium. Si ni vyema wasalimiane tukiwaona? Si ni vyema? Hebu tusimame kwanza wote, stretch as they shake hands as we take some photos, then we'll go and we'll have our national anthem. Okay. Asante. So wamesalimiana. Hata kama wamekwaruzana kidogo, ni siasa. We want to thank you so much, our audience. Thank you for finding your time. Tunasema ni asante for spending your time this time of the night. For our moderators, tunasema asante. Kajiado Youth Parliament, who are our host, and African Nazarene University, we say thank you so much. We are looking forward to such moments. Simekuwa mzuri. We should do this again to other leaders, right? Sindio? We need to get questions, we need to get answers from them. Sawa. So we want to sing our national anthem. So then we end up with
each and every person who has been here and those who have been watching online. We pray that we will take all of this and ponder it in our hearts and be the kind of vote. Amen.
I will welcome the management, Madam Julia, Dr. Karibu, and the management of African Nazarene, and kindly the candidates. Yeah, we need to take the pictures. And ladies and gentlemen, tumeshukuru sana. This is our last bit of, and we're really grateful for this. So asanteni sana. So the African Nazarene, then followed by our moderators, then Kajiado Youth Parliament, and also AMREF Kenya.
We all want